Welcome to day 5 of the Crush It with Listings Challenge, man. I'm a little sad that we're on day 5 already, but we are so excited for today's guest speaker. Now, I'm not going to say that we saved the best for last because every speaker, right? Has every speaker been amazing? Yes.
Each day's been a knock. I mean, honestly, it's like knocking it out of the park each and every day. You wonder if it can get better.
And
right,
what we did save for today is probably the one topic that everybody wants the most. How in the freaking hell do I get more seller leads? And how do I get them without spending a fortune? Hey, Sue, are you raising your hand?
Okay. Yes, I am raising my hand. I just have something to say before you start.
Yeah.
I paid for Krista May Shore training, not the 27,000, but the other week-long training with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up this morning thinking, wow, these past 5 days for free have been so much better. I have learned so much more.
Nice.
They are
yay!
Nice.
And I didn't even get to listen to yesterday's because I had
Okay, Sue, I love you because I was one of those that paid $27,000.
Oh no!
Yes, she did. She did.
I
And
did.
And I have to admit, I'm a little competitive. So I love it when somebody says your training was better. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Can I add?
So
Can I also add? I also took her program for $20,000.
oh geez.
And I got so lost. And I think what put me over the top was the time she had someone come and show us yoga moves while that was our training. And I thought, what the hell did I just spend $20,000 for? I was so pissed.
Yeah.
So
no.
Oh,
I like it
so
when
you guys should all know
not all
something
about you, Bella. You don't make it all about you, and she does.
Yeah.
So, and that was bad. I shouldn't have said that.
But
Well,
this
that's
has
okay.
this has been like so rock star. I mean,
Oh.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
And Bella,
Thank you very much.
Bella, I made a hat. I knit a hat that is so darling.
Did you
And
knit
I'm
me a
gonna bring it
hat?
to the office and I'm gonna knit you a hat. It's like
Really?
yes. And you would look adorable in it. So I'm gonna bring it when I get back in town.
Yay!
Okay.
So much. That's awesome. And thank you, you guys.
Okay.
And all joking
I'm gonna
aside,
knit my stuff.
we really try to go way overboard with the value for you. And as a matter of fact, and you guys are a little bit, you're kind of our guinea pigs because this is Tamra and I's first ever 5-day challenge. It's the first challenge we've ever done. And so we were a little like, figuring out, we're like, whoa, the workbooks and all the handouts we're like, oh my God, there's so much stuff to get through.
Well, and it's kind
Are
of
you
sad
serious?
because our
This is the
brains
first
work
one you
alike
guys
that
have
way,
done?
'cause we're like,
No,
more,
we've
more,
never
more,
done
more,
one
more.
before. Never,
No.
never.
Oh
This
my
is our-
gosh. I
this
mean,
is-
like you guys look like, and
It's
you
our
have like
maiden-
everything so put together. It looks like that you guys, and you're so comfortable.
It's our
Yeah, it
maiden
looks like-
voyage.
Oh,
And you were all our little guinea pigs. So
No, thank you for hanging out with us.
And so what we'd like to do today, because, and then everybody, here's the thing. I'm going to just drop this one thing. I'll drop a little link in the chat. I'll drop some more as we go through the day, but we're not doing any kind of, so guys, if you guys didn't know, here's how 5-day challenges work. They give you lots of great stuff for 5 days and then bam, they give you the world's biggest pitch on day 5 and they try to sell you something like a $27,000 course. I'm going to pitch you at the end of the day today. We're not pitching anything. And because frankly, we'll cut into the time with Michael and we're like, okay, we're just going to give him Michael instead. So and we're not going to sell you anything ever. What I will say, if anybody would like to learn more about how to partner with all of us, myself, Tamra, Jay, Mike, Kevin, Fred, Curtis, the whole shebang for free for the rest of your career, all I would encourage you guys to do is just book a call. I'm going to drop my calendar link. It does not matter who you want to work with because you get all of us, right? And the call, I promise you, there is no arm twisting. There is no arm twisting involved.
Nope.
But just if you have even a mild curiosity, jump into my calendar, book a call. I'm going to go ahead and grab that link really quick. And then what we want to do today, Tamra, we want to take you through all the handouts. You guys have gotten 5 killer handouts and we haven't spent any time on them. So we thought
And we kind of sucked at the whole homework because we kind of got lost in all of the information that was given each day. So we fell short there as well. So thank you for your patience with our learning.
Right. And then I'll drop this link, Tamra, and if you want to.
Did you see that? Jeff Tomlinson, Mike Reese is his sponsor.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Really nice. Oh, and let me share screen. Or not share my screen. Duh. Let me allow you, my dear, to share your screen. There we go. Okay. So if you want to start taking them through the handouts, Tamra, I'm going to drop a link.
Oh, righty. Let's see. Which one was our first one? Remind
The
me.
very first one was the workbook.
Okay. And you have that one. So I love it. Sue printed it out.
Nicely done, Sue. Do you want me to
So
open that one up, Tamra, since it's a little easier for me?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, so give us 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Woohoo! Okay, are you seeing the ocean?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So really quick, this was your day 1 handout, and we will re-drop all handouts into the group. Some of these handouts are links and some are downloads. And so if you ever get confused, this one is a link, and then that link will take you to this page where you can download it. Right here is your download button to download this workbook. So it should be pretty easy for you guys. And really quick, I'm just going to super fast so you guys get the sense for what's in here. We have identified the 11 top skills to become a badass listing agent. And each skill is given a breakdown page and then a worksheet page for you to evaluate yourself and to also work through the skill. Now, a lot of these pages have live links in them. So if you open them up online, you will get the actual links that we've dropped in here for you, and they're clickable. Like this one is my top 3 books for mindset, right? And then if we come through skill number 2, here's your worksheet. There's even, we dropped in an actual scheduler for you to fill out, right? Lead generation. We help you identify all kinds of sources of business with different strategies. And then guys, I can't encourage you enough. Don't skip this workbook. Go through the skills and fill out the worksheets. You will quickly start to identify the areas where you're like, ooh, okay, I need to spend some time and focus on that, right? And don't try to get all 11 skills at once. You'll go insane. Pick a skill, focus on it for a month, and then pick a new skill, focus on it for a month. And by the time you guys are through 2022, you'll have a great skill set. And so,
actually, if you do the Pomodoro technique through each one of these and use your focus for 25 minutes per each task, you will find that you will absorb more.
It's perfect. This is even like I actually dropped in my seller pre-qualifying questions, but you guys also have the ones from Kevin, right? So go through, take advantage of these. We really tried to make these useful for you. This is where I dropped in 2 of my favorite closes, and then I have a space here for you to
Is
fill
there
out.
any questions that you'll be adding to yours after meeting with Kevin?
Oh,
Do you believe?
Yeah, he had some really good ones in there.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you really liked several of them. So I was just curious if that was one that you planned on updating.
So here's the awesome thing about the reason I share links with you to my workbooks is they update in real time. So the link will never change, but you can re-click the link. So if I go in the group and say, hey, I updated the workbook or I added something to the workbook, I'll drop the link and then you guys instantly get the updates. It's really slick.
That's awesome.
And then here so this skill is the negotiation worksheet. And then you guys, I put my favorite negotiation books in here for you, right? Links to every single one. This one is probably the toughest one, but it's one of my favorites. Start with No. I recommend you read these other ones first before you get to Start
No
with
is
No.
a very deep book.
Yeah. And he's hardcore. He's not playing. So I recommend everybody on planet Earth, if you only pick one book, everybody needs to get Never Split the Difference. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. And then we have our piece here on social media. And guys, I have a lot of workbooks. Okay. I link you to other workbooks that I've built for other classes. So, you know, when you get here, I've got 2 workbooks just for Instagram. I didn't put my Facebook one in here because it's for actually running ads. I'm happy to drop it in the group for you guys, but if you need help with that one, let me know. And then you actually have, guys, an assessment here at the end. So you can take a look for yourself. Hey, what's my total score and how do I feel about my skills and what do I want to work on? And then throughout here, guys, if you want to book a free strategy session with us, free forever, right? We will never charge you. Ever. We are never going to sell you anything. We're never going to pitch you. We're never going to try and get you to sign up for coaching or a course. Never. So it's actually free to book a call with us because it's not a setup to get you to open your wallet. Okay. And then here at the end, we just had a bunch of listing notes for you. So that's
We're pretty much an open
workbook.
book.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I hate that
said,
tricky.
Tamra is a coach and she coaches 2,000 agents.
Yeah, she doesn't need any more, guys. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so day 2 was why don't you, Tamra, take them through the daily planner? Because that's amazing and it's gotten no airtime.
Okay.
I'll kill my screen share.
All righty. I have to tell you, I had a lot of fun building the daily planner. And Belladonna and I talked about this over and over. Let me see if I make sure I get you the right screen here. Okay. Can you see the Facebook group?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because in the Facebook group, if everyone remembers to go to the top of the page to where it says files, everything that's dropped into the group, you will find there. So that way, if there's any of the planners that you're looking for, everything's here. You'll be able to download it from here. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that that's the easiest way to find it. So we'll go into the planner here. And you'll notice when you click on it, usually it'll do an automatic download. So you'll automatically get it. So we'll open it up. And if you use this, it will plan out your entire day. It'll plan out all kinds of stuff for you. Your first page here is brainstorming. This will get you focused. I mean, clearly focused on everything that you are looking to get out of each and every day. Just go through and jot down. I mean, this is for you. So it doesn't have to be, you know, anything that has to do with anyone else unless that's part of your business of where you're wanting to go. So this has all been based on a personal level for your business. And any notes that you make, this is, remember me talking about the Pomodoro technique yesterday where, you know, you think of something and you need to jot it down. This is where that kind of comes in. In the next section of the planner, it's your goals. These are all based, I don't know about everybody else, but I do weekly, monthly, and then I do quarterly goals.
I love that weekly goal. That just makes it nice and clean. Like just 3 things a day. Like what are your top 3 things to do that freaking day?
Yeah. I mean, it makes it to where you feel that they're more attainable versus, you know, I've got this huge goal and I have no idea how the hell I'm supposed to get there. This just makes it easier when you break it down. And so you can do it daily here or any notes for the month based on your goals. Then you come down and this is a goal tracker. It lets you know whether you're using the SMART effect, the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. They're all here. Then you can go through and it kind of keeps you accountable on what you're setting yourself up for. Then you can go in and you can review and find out what was successful, what wasn't successful, any obstacles you might have faced, and what you can do better the next time around. That way you know that, this isn't just a one-time thing. Now here, this is kind of an interesting,
oh, I love this one. You got the breakdown.
I do. And so everybody has a commission goal. And a lot of times they don't realize how to put together that formula in order to, make that revenue make sense. Here, I've given you the formula so you can go through to calculate where you want your yearly commission goal and how that's going to be attainable. What action steps you need to do, a deadline. Always give yourself a deadline to complete that action step. So for me, each morning, other than this week, each morning I have my action steps that I work on from 9 to 11. Nothing else gets in there. That's exactly what I'm working on, is whatever it is that's on my weekly goal sheet is in that between 9 and 11. Nothing comes in between that unless I'm doing the Crush It with Listings challenge with Bella. So this kind of lets you know where you're at. At the very end of the month, you can take and do an assessment on yourself. This kind of goes back even to the toolkit that you have that started out the week. This is a little something that you can keep in your planner. And these are nice because you can print them out.
I actually really like these.
So I actually have a binder that goes each month I print this out, and each month I keep track of everything, and then I tab them so that I can go back and go, okay, this is how much further I've come in the last 3 months. It just kind of keeps you, set in the right direction. We come back, whether you realize it or not, I live off of the SMART goals. So I incorporate that in pretty much everything that I do. And this just kind of breaks it down for you, what your goal is, how you will measure it, how you're going to obtain it. Will this assist with my long-term goals? And what is the deadline? You kind of notice I have deadlines. If I don't have a deadline, my competitive nature doesn't know when it needs to get that done. So here we break down and go into clients. I kind of like this one because I think it kind of keeps track of who you're working with. I know this is in a paper form. If you do have Adobe and you're familiar with that, you can actually make this digital to where you can go in and type into it. Okay. All right. So here we have an open house planner. Open houses are really popular right now with all of the
this is
massive
awesome
amounts. So you can go in and you can plan out your open house. You can actually, have a complete plan for your open house. You can, whether all of the prior things that you have done that have worked up to the open house, days of the open house, what went on there, what you've all included, any follow-up, and then make any necessarily notes that you have on there. Just kind of keeps tabs of what works, what didn't work, so you can modify it the next time around. I did include the buyer consultation, so you guys have one of those. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you forget the little details in regards to who may have come through, who you might be working with.
That's awesome. So the buyer consult Tamra, is for them to have with them at the open house.
Yes.
Oh, so
yes.
they could just fill it out right there, like you're having a conversation. So you print a stack of these. That's awesome.
And this way, you know, most of the time when you're talking with someone, all we're getting from them is an email and a phone number. This way, I mean, when you're talking with them, you can take, you know, are they looking for, you know, a townhouse, single family condo, what it is that they're looking for in a properties. It also helps you to remember certain questions to ask. That's kind of the benefit of having this, is it gives you, you know, a reminder of things that you might forget to ask at the open house.
Well, it's kind of like a little interview form.
It is.
And so that's actually really awesome. I've never thought about having that at an open house. Like, it's probably because I never did them.
Yeah, I'm one of those that this is, you know, I didn't do many open houses in my career. I would actually have new agents come in and do my open houses. And so they wanted, you know, more and more training, and this was the way to give that to them. So now we come through and you'll find, I mean, I've got all kinds of questions you can ask. And if you'll notice here, right here, have you signed an exclusive buyer's agent contract? This way you do not forget and you don't step on any toes and you're not breaking any rules.
This is actually amazing. Like, just this one piece alone is fantastic.
Now we go through, and this you can take with your sellers. When
Oh,
you're
and Mike just jumped
sellers.
into the room.
Yay, should we hand it over to him?
Okay, so folks, we are going to get ready to bring Michael Reese on. Okay, so we've got, hang on just one second. I had a funny thing on the front of my screen. Okay, so it's our last day and it's Michael Reese. And like, he's like, holy shit. Okay. So should we do the same thing that we did for Jay? It's our last chance to do a Friday wave.
Absolutely.
The Friday wave. Okay.
Let's
So-
do it.
And then I'll be bringing up my, after we do it, I'll bring up my little screen to actually introduce Michael to everybody. Okay, so Nico, is he in? Is Michael in?
That's what I let him in, but I can't find him yet.
Okay, so
I
just
found
as soon as you can, we'll throw a little spotlight on Michael. Okay, so everybody, are you ready for Michael Reese? Everybody unmute. And we seriously saved the most exciting topic for last, you guys. How excited are you to figure out how to quickly build a seller pipeline for zero money? Woo!
Get on! Get on! Woo!
People come on now. Woo!
Right on!
We're excited for Michael. Woo!
How are y'all doing? That was pretty impressive.
We're excited
You're
to have
awesome,
you.
Michael. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all?
We are great,
We're
man. We just
stoked.
had Jay yesterday, man, and they're still reeling. He just like blew everybody's mind. But I got to tell you, I think everybody on the entire challenge has just been waiting for you, because they're like, how do we get leads?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get started.
Oh, can I do this real quick, Michael?
Yep.
Only because I'll be sad if you're the only one that we didn't do like a cool little intro for.
Let's do it.
All right. So, oh, do I need to share my screen? Are you guys seeing this?
Nope.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me go share my screen. Because you guys need to know, like, seriously, this way you can really appreciate who you've got in front of you. Here, we'll admit Roxy. All right, guys. Now, I know everybody met Jay yesterday. Michael Reese and Jay Kinder have had kind of parallel lives in real estate and became partners. That's Michael standing on a stage in front of thousands of real estate agents, right? He has literally written most of the books on real estate. He was a co-author on The Miracle Morning, on the real estate code. And you can see that big one there, front and center, digital president, because one of Mike's superpowers is how do you generate leads for your real estate business? You can catch him on the Dominant Agent podcast, which is amazing, along with the One Big Fire podcast. And we'll drop links to those in the group. And if you guys can see all of those TV logos at the bottom of the screen, there's pretty much, you'd be hard pressed to find a media outlet that didn't cover Michael Reese, because he's that big of a deal, you guys. And such a nice guy. And you can't say that all the time. So with no further ado, let me kill my screen share, you guys. Oh, I almost killed the whole Zoom. How would that have been? That would have been embarrassing. I came so close. You guys don't even know how close we just came.
All right.
All right. Michael, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well, I'll jump into it. So a little backstory. I got into real estate in 2002, my third year in the business. I listed 368 homes in what would be considered at the time the most competitive real estate market. It was the fastest growing city in the US, I think 3 years in a row. It was Frisco, Texas. It's still growing like gangbusters. But one of the interesting things when I got into real estate was I had obviously made the choice that I was going to grow a team and that I was going to work on listings. And so today, what I'm going to share with you is, really a combination of knowing what I know now, what I would do. Right. And in 2016, I wrote a book called Inside Sales Predictability. I started a real estate team from scratch on January 2nd. I had one part-time agent. This is 2016. I hadn't sold a house since 2012. And in 2016, on January 2nd, me and Roy Rhodes went and got a temporary office, almost probably about an hour drive in traffic past where my original office still was. So I had 64 employees in an office in Frisco, but it wasn't selling real estate. I went basically downtown to downtown Dallas and created an office in the corner of a mortgage company. And that year from scratch, so I started that in January. I didn't even know how to log into the MLS. I didn't know how to open a lockbox. The boxes had turned from beige to blue. Things had changed a lot. And so one of my motivations in order to do this was I told Jay in December of 2015, I felt like with social media and stuff that we really needed to be in the trenches in order to stay relevant. And that meant that we had to be experiencing the same challenges and problems that other people were experiencing, solving them like we had done in the past. And when I first got into real estate, you could have 500 expireds in a zip code. And then, there's some markets where you have like 3 expireds. Sometimes you got 100 Fsbos, sometimes you have none. And so anyway, so as I started, when I wrote this book that year, we did 262 transactions from scratch. Not have sold a house in 4 years, which was 2.2 million in commissions. By October, we had over $500,000 in commissions scheduled to close in October. And I would say that, a few things. One of the things that I will tell you is what I'm going to share with you today is really all we did. So I'm going to share exactly what we did. I'm going to tell you the backstory. Unfortunately, it's like 2 separate topics because I would do what I'm doing, what I'm about to share with you. If I would have had, there is probably something else that I would do. So I'm gonna share that first because it's not a part of the presentation and I have slides and I'll probably forget to come back to it. So knowing what I know now, I would have gotten on YouTube early. I would have gotten on YouTube. I would have went all in on YouTube. I have a buddy of mine who flew out. I live in Puerto Rico. He flew out to Puerto Rico January 6th of 2021. He had never sold a home. First year in real estate was last year. He did over $1 million in commissions, all from YouTube. In September, he launched a luxury channel. He has a $10 million deal scheduled to close in Dallas next week. And he's already done for 2022, as of our conversation last week, he had already done 70 transactions, right? And so this individual sat in that chair 14 months ago saying, man, I'm not really sure. You think I should actually sell homes? You think, I mean, you know, that. And so for me, it's all based upon a set of belief systems. This guy had worked in my lawn service. This guy had worked on, and really every business that I had. He ran my lawn service. He worked for me at Valley Total Fitness as my assistant manager. One day after not seeing him for 10 years, he called me up and said, hey, listen, I've been in the financial space. He showed up with the presidential Rolex on, but jobless, right? Like literally him and his partner got sideways and he was going to go sell these Huggies. Like he had invented this like snuggle thing. And so he came to my house after 10 years of not seeing him to show me this snuggle thing. And I said, I had shared with him why I felt like real estate was a much more better opportunity for him, that he could always go back and do that. But why I think that he needed to have a lot of core capital and all these other things. And I wasn't trying to discourage him, but I had just come out of the e-commerce business with 26 SKUs and it had freaking taken 2 years of my life. And so I know some of the times these good ideas that we have are not always, sometimes they're distractions, right? And so, I say all that to say I would be doing YouTube. If you're not, I certainly would be, you know, that's a whole different story, but I do believe that, you know, YouTube done consistently over time. You know, the cool thing about YouTube is skills can be learned, and all of the people I know who are killing it on YouTube, you know, they'll tell you, if you look at my first video, it sucked. But, you know, the best day to start on YouTube was yesterday. The second best day to start is today. So in theory, that's kind of my passion. That's where Digital President was written. That's why I felt like, so Inside Sales Predictability was written as a result of me wanting to start a real estate business. Again, I obviously I partner with agents now, but back then I had just started partnering with agents and I was looking for a value proposition. And so me and Jay had come up with the model where we were going to partner with agents and provide them with listing leads. And so in doing that, the only way that I knew how to do that was based upon market service area, meaning I had to have a defined area, very specific area, because to me, the reason I got listings is because I was an incredible Hulk in a puddle, right? Like if you ever do like I built a brand. Like people said, Mike, I could wallpaper my house with all the shit you send me. And the reason why is I was able, this is important key, I was able to afford to send them things because I knew if you can afford to trade a nickel for a dollar, if you can afford to trade a dime for a dollar, if you can afford to trade a quarter for a dollar, then you can afford to send people stuff if you know your customer acquisition cost. So that's over here on the paid side, right? So there's like paid advertising, and then what we're here to do is talk about the free. And so what I needed to do, and this was my goal, was to make 1 million calls, 1 million calls per month. That was my goal. I wanted to make 1 million outbound calls per month. I started with one girl named Crystal McGee, and Crystal started probably around the 5th or the 6th of January 2016. And basically, she did the strategy that I'm going to tell you about. And in her first month, she identified 161 sellers. And by June, out of those 161 sellers, a third of them either listed, were on the market, and were already sold. And the reason I say that is because for me, the bottleneck in list, if I had the perfect slides, I could articulate this probably better if I was on a whiteboard. But there's a book called The Goal, and it's mandatory reading in most MBA courses, right? The Goal. And basically the goal is a parable. I only think this way now. Like the goal is all about the theory of constraint, right? A constraint is like a budget is a constraint by definition. And so what it says, the book's philosophy is that anytime you're trying to produce a result, that there's always a bottleneck. And after I learned this concept of bottleneck, it was really the concept of problem solving. I learned in 2016 when I brought on my first partner that my biggest bottleneck was we didn't have enough listing leads. Like that was the bottleneck. And so like if you look at like the bottleneck wasn't like I have so many appointments I can't go on them all. The bottleneck was we didn't have enough money allocated towards a budget in order to do what I had done, years ago. because I had built that up over time and I had the paid machine running. I paid for the ad on the credit card. The ad dropped on the 14th, 9 listing appointments, listed 8. 1 was a buyer. Of those 8 or 2 were buyers. And so I kind of understood what they call the cash conversion cycle. Cash conversion cycle I learned from Vern Harnish. And it's an important concept because, you know, a cash conversion cycle is how long after you put $1 in your business do you get that $1 back? And so these are just frameworks that I think through every single day. I do this every day in real life. This is what I've been doing all morning, just as it relates to a different, because it's a funnel. For me, it's a funnel. And so I had read a book by a lady named Mary Lou Tyler. And I met Mary Lou through Jay Abraham. He introduced me. And Mary Lou Tyler is the author of a book called Predictable Revenue. She co-authored it with a guy named Aaron Ross. And they had built Salesforce.com's entire sales process to its first 100 million. And so, and her philosophy that she had removed the bottleneck of leads, because when you produce a lead on Facebook, let's just say a home evaluation lead, and let's not get into the the details here, but let's just say it was $8 a lead, right? I was producing home value leads around $8 a lead. Now, I'm not going to get into whether home value leads work or not, but in 2014, I started the company Leads Today, Listings Tomorrow with Scott Kleiger. We sold that company to Land Voice, and we had produced 150,000 home value leads in 12 months nationwide. And in January, I was on a call with a girl named Karen Carroll out of Florida. And Karen was a super brilliant girl that I had worked with over the years. And I had asked, I was trying to come up with a product called Neighborhood Bully. Right. I liked the name, and I was like, you know, instead of calling it farming, how do you take over a neighborhood? How do you become the neighborhood bully? Right. And so we had already taken over a neighborhood. We had gotten 48% market share in the neighborhood in 12 months by mailing the neighborhood every month. Right. And I had to click off of that phone call and grab a phone call from Scott Kleiger. Scott Kleiger created Free 411, sold it for like a couple $100 million. He was on the cover in the early 90s as one of the 4 most powerful people on the internet. His roommate was in college at Michigan State, was the guy who was in Steve Jobs' book, supposed to be the next CEO of Apple, ended up creating Nest, which is the Nest deal. Anyway, this guy ran in and he knew how to build stuff on the internet, and he was a visionary and very innovative. So he calls me. I always take his call. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Scott? And he's like, hey, man, I'm going through the 150,000 leads that we generated, and you'll never believe, guess how many of them sold? And I said, how many? And he said 9%. And I hung up the phone and I clicked back onto the line with Karen, and I told her the information, exactly what I had just talked. She knew Scott. We all 3 worked together. I was like, hey, that was Scott. This is what he just told me. So we get back into this. I still have the screenshot. We get back into the computer and we're looking for neighborhoods to take over. In these neighborhoods, the turnover rates were 11%, 12%, 16%, and they were double the median home sale price. And I was like, oh my goodness, if Mary Lou Tyler, it's called labor efficiency. If she invests in labor, meaning instead of investing if you invested in $8 a lead and generated 1,000 leads, that would cost you $8,000, but you would never have called any of those leads, right? You just have 8,000 leads, and it was $8 a lead, $5 a lead, doesn't matter. Your constraint is your budget. Maybe you ain't got $8,000 to put in, and even if you do, you need that money back, the cash conversion cycle. So I knew that was the problem. And I said, how easy would it be for us to get every phone number? Because if you give me 100 home value leads at $8, that's $800. But if only 9% of them sell in the next 12 months, then that means I only have 9 opportunities. If I can go into a neighborhood that 11% of the homes turn over, and I can get their phone number for a penny, I could call every home in the neighborhood without having to pay for the lead. Now I have no bottleneck. Now my bottleneck is removed. See, if I generate 2,000 leads, my bottleneck is time to call them, convert them, talk to them, determine timing and motivation, sift and sort them, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm the bottleneck because we generated the leads. We had the money. There was no bottleneck. Now we have the leads. Now we got to convert them. Did we speak to 10%, 20%, 30%? Did we call them once, twice, leave a voicemail, send a text, use the force multiplier? I'm the bottleneck. I have to convert. I have to get them on the phone, determine timing and motivation, find out who wants to do something now, wants to do something later. That's not the bottleneck. With most people who want to do seller business, they don't even have the leads. And so you have to solve the right problem. The difference between a good strategy and a bad strategy is solving the right problem, but most importantly, the right problem in the right order. And so since I knew that more than 9% of the people in this particular neighborhoods that I chose would be selling, I ended up being able to get their phone numbers, their cell phone numbers for a penny. Well, the question comes, well, yeah, now you got everybody's phone number in the neighborhood. Who wants to call everybody in the neighborhood? And see, that is true. I would say I would probably rather get hit in the back of the neck with a car antenna every day than my success be, elastic to my, pain threshold of calling perfect strangers to try to get them to list their home. But that's where the constraint after the bottleneck, see, most of the biggest constraint is in your own thinking. It's never the problem. It's how you're thinking about the problem. Every problem has a solution. When you have a problem that you're facing, it's not the problem in itself. It's does it demoralize you? Do you say it's not possible? Most people on this call, no offense, are thinking before we even start, the shit won't work. The guy who did, over $1 million his first year, he didn't have that problem. He didn't have that limiting belief. So the first thing is that, well, what is the problem that you have? Do you want to go after sellers? If the answer is yes, what are your options? You have time or money. Those are the only two things you have to invest. If you have money, then we can have a separate conversation. I can show you exactly how to turn nickels, dimes, and quarters into $4. If you don't have money, then you have to tackle the bottleneck. And the bottleneck is you need qualified opportunities. If you have qualified opportunities, the question, which this sucks for most people, doing the wrong thing in the wrong order, is most people, even if they had a listing presentation or a listing appointment, if they were competing against myself, knowing that I have a system and a checklist and I never skip steps and I have a pre-listing video, I have a proven repeatable system backed by market research to sell your home for up to 18% more than the methods used by traditional agents. Would you like me to show you how? I can articulate my value, demonstrate my value. My value is made visible. I show up to win. So if you invest money and end up on an appointment against me or Jay or somebody in your market, the question is are you fully trained, right? What do you bring to that appointment? So and when you're not, and subconsciously you're not, then you have little confidence, right? And so the first thing that I would always do is obviously look at, hey, are people fully trained, right? If you're not fully trained, then let's not skip steps and start generating leads to get to appointments that we can't articulate our value. We want to make sure we get fully trained. And that's why Warren Buffett said, a kid asked him, said, hey, if you were me, I'm this age and I got this much to invest, where would you invest it? He said, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. Darren Hardy says, I spend 10% of what I make back into personal development. You can never exceed your own personal development. You see all these books right here, which just randomly are on my desk, right? Every one of these books cost $197, right? Every one of these, they come in the mail every month. Why? Because they're around learning how to market, right? And I get them and I read them every single month. Every single month, I read them every single month. Yes, this is Frank, right? Lead generation events on Facebook, right? I have literally bought more stuff. Someone told me a long time ago, Mike, if you ever want to get someone to pay you a lot of money, you better have paid a lot of people a lot of money, right? And so again, what we're here to discuss today is the free leads. My reason for pausing and going backwards is that if you don't have the skills and you're in here trying to get the leads, I want to encourage you to know that skills can be learned and you can beat anybody in your market on a presentation, and a good presentation doesn't need a close. I did it at 22, at 23, at 24. I did it living in an apartment with an S10 with 2 spare tires going up against the #1 agent in my market. I beat her against the orthopedic surgeon in the nicest neighborhood. The only reason you can't win those appointments is that you don't have the best presentation. You haven't studied your skill. You haven't mastered your craft, right? Once you've done that, then here's the best part about the strategy is once you've determined that there's neighborhoods, because there's neighborhoods, and in all fairness, even if the turnover rate was 6%, turnover rates are based upon data, right? Like more houses, there's a different amount of houses selling today than that were selling at the time in 2016, right? There's less inventory. There's different mechanics but I could still run that. I could still generate home evaluations. And I guarantee you proportionally, the percentage of people that want to sell from that subset or segment of the market is going to still be, there's going to be neighborhoods with higher turnover rates. So my question was, let's remove the bottleneck. Give me 2,500 homes. That's what I want. I want 2,500 homes and I want to call every single home. What are we going to say? I don't know. That's what we got to figure out next. That's the bottleneck. What are we going to say? Well, because I have bought courses and I've had to sell a lot of stuff. And so I know that it's worth your time investing in a script. I'll give you a point of reference here. When I first met Jay Abraham, he told a story that I had an affinity to because one of my first jobs was I worked at the Brass Buckle. I think it's called the Buckle now, but it was a retail clothing store. And when I was getting my marketing chops or sharpening my sword, I was studying Jay Abraham, who later became a friend. And he told a story about how he went in and increased the sales in a retail store by changing one thing. So if I were to come into, like, let's say someone on here, maybe Heidi or Carla, let's say y'all came into a retail store and I said, hey, thanks for coming in. Can I help you? Most people would say, what would they say? You can put it in the chat. Someone's going to put it in there.
No, thank you.
Just looking. Thank you. Someone put just looking. Most people put just looking when surveyed. Just looking. No, just looking. So what Jay Abraham did is he went into the store and he witnessed these interactions. Marketing's job is to put somebody into a sales process, right? So if somebody built a brand, has somebody at the mall, they walk into their store, that's a sales opportunity. And so after watching this, he went to the girl who was approaching the customers and he said, the next person to walk in, I want you to ask them if they're just looking. So the next person walks in and he said, or she said, hey, welcome. I'm going to use my company. Hey, welcome to the Brass Buckle. Are you just looking today? And they said, yes. And then he said, well, what are you looking for? Right. And that's the power. That's the power of process, words, skills, marketing, understanding that everything you do can be improved, right? Everything you could do could be improved. So when I went after these homes, I understood the power, right? I understood the power of words. I understood the power of marketing. And I knew that what would that connection need to be like? And so at the end of the day, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. The answer was, and I'm actually doing my slides right now without doing my slides. But the answer was, it was a survey, right? That was the answer. It was a survey. If you called people in a neighborhood, so we'll do the city of Frisco. Hey, this is Michael Reese calling. We're doing a local homeownership survey here in Frisco. And I just had 2 quick questions. Are you planning on making a move in the next 12 months? That was the script. That was the script. And the funny thing about it is I could train somebody at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and they could be on the phone at 12:05. They didn't know how to know my value proposition, my guarantee, my risk reversal. How does the guaranteed sales program work? What is this? They didn't have to have intimate knowledge about my business to do a survey call, because that's what we call demand generation, which is used in the software business. It's using labor dollar and data. See, you use dollars to produce leads and then labor dollar to convert them, right? But instead of using dollars, we were using pennies in labor dollar. So we removed the bottleneck to the person. And once I did it, right? So the girl, Crystal, who did the 161 nurtures, her first month with us, January of 2016, she identified 161. A third of those people were sold under contract, option, you get the point. And so I ended up hiring in that year, in 2016, I ended up hiring 20 ISAs. If you would have told me in January when I could barely afford to hire her, which I think her salary was like $4,000 a month. And I could barely, I mean, like the budget that I had was very small, right? The only reason, like if she didn't make something work in 2 months, we were toast. I didn't go to NAEA. I had a personal, I've said this to Jay since we've been in business. You know, I like to make businesses for the most part. I think when you start a business, you have to first learn how to get a customer. And if I can't learn how to get a customer, if I don't have the right people, I don't care. Like imagine you own a restaurant and nobody comes. It doesn't mean people don't eat, right? It doesn't mean that people don't eat. It means that you don't know how to get customers to your restaurant. And so we had to create the minimum viable process for creating a customer within a budget. Once I learned that 1 in 34, this was the magic number, 1 in 34 conversations. I'm sorry, 1 in 12, which is 8%. 1 in 12 conversations turned into a nurture. Because what a nurture was anybody, see, if I would have called that person and said, do they want to sell their home? They might have said yes or no, right? But if I asked them, are they planning on making a move in the next 12 months? Well, yeah, like if you would have asked me that question anytime last year, even though my home is still not on the, if you would ask me that question right now, I would say yes, right? So we learned that 8%, 1 in 12 of those individuals after having a conversation would want to be a nurture, and 1 in 34 nurtures turned into a closing. So all I had to do was divide the labor dollar of what I was paying this individual based upon my data, which one point of reference here is that when you append data, you either get four phone numbers per household. That's called an address append, or you get two phone numbers per household, right? If you get 4 phone numbers, they're going off of public data saying like everybody who's lived at the house. You know, if you get 2 phone numbers, you're more likely, because you don't want to have to make 40 calls to call 10 households, right? What I learned was my labor efficiency could be improved based upon the data. The data was, if I got better data, my labor productivity increased because they made more contacts. And because I knew the amount of people they contacted, how many nurtures were created, and I knew how many nurtures turned into a closed sale. That's why I wrote this book. I wrote this book and then I sold this book in a marketing and sales funnel in 2016. This book right here made almost $1 million net in 12 months. Almost $1 million net. So I wrote the book, again, being a marketer, right? You can read the book and everything's in here, how to hire them, what personality traits, how we manage them, like everything I did. I went from scratch to hiring ISAs. But the thing was, what I really did was I nailed a marketing and sales process and then I scaled it. And the only reason I could scale it, it was because it was all based upon math. It was math. It wasn't hope. It wasn't hope. I hope this works. It was, I had a budget to test, right? I had a budget to test, and my testing budget. See, the thing that Jay Abraham says is you have an unlimited budget for things that work. The only budget you have is a testing budget. And your job is to always be testing. And if you're not investing in your business testing, then you have a constraint in your mind. You have a constraint in your mind. You have a limiting belief. And that's you, not me. Like you can say, like I lost 60 pounds in the last 120 days. 60 pounds, right? I'm training for an Ironman. How'd you lose 60 pounds? Well, I got honest with myself. I literally was eating chips every single day about 4 o'clock. Then I'd eat some more about 5:30, and I understood that calories in, calories out. It's okay to go to bed hungry. You don't have to be full. In fact, you're not really hungry. You're just eating, right? And I swear to you, after running an ultra marathon, doing a simulated Mount Everest climb, running 62 miles straight for 22 hours, training, I never lost more weight by just actually monitoring my portions and my eating. And so did I want to get in better shape? Yes, but I had to be willing to do the work. And that's the thing. You can watch The Biggest Loser and you can watch people get on the show and they can get on the show and be 400 pounds, not be able to run even a mile. And 6 months later, they can be 10% body fat and run a marathon. And the question is, well, how? And the reason how is because they have a clear goal and they have an effort metric. See, you have to have an effort metric. What is the metric that you use to monitor your own personal productivity, right? Like the book, Good to Great, Jim Collins, Built to Last, How the Mighty Fall, Great by Choice, right? Jim Collins, in his book, The Hedgehog Concept, is all about, the best companies in the world. They had this one number. Like, what is if your goal is to get listings, then what is your one number that's in your control, your effort metric that you do every day that has a cause and effect relationship on what you're trying to produce? Now, I'm going to regress here and tell you, here's what happened though. Being a marketer, I said, well, God, Lee, if this works over the phone, it's got to work online. And the crazy thing is it did. The crazy thing is I started using, I built the software, it tracked ROI. I built out my survey to be automated and dynamic based upon people's questions. There's a book called The Ask Method. In fact, a guy wrote a book called The Ask Method. I didn't even know about it until after I was already selling my book. I don't even know if his book came after my book. His book is all about surveys and how to use, because surveys are not perceived as marketing, right? It's perceived as feedback. So let me tell you the cool thing. Daniel Beard did it. He did it 3 years ago, walked up to me in New Orleans and showed me his phone. He said, dude, we have 180 something people who said they want to sell their house in the next 12 months. How did he do that? He did exactly what I said. I would email it, email the survey. He emailed the survey headline, Frisco homeownership survey, right? So surveys can be emailed. The second thing that he did, him specifically, was I saw him and he said, hey man, I used that survey again. He saw me in Portland speak and I shared the strategy. He then deployed the strategy, shared it with me at EXPCon in Louisiana that he had done it. I think at this point, he's like the #1 agent or #2 agent in San Diego. Then he tells me, Mike, dude, I did it at an actual, so he would rent out movie theaters. I'm sure you've heard of this strategy where you invite, your past clients to go. But he would always have a challenge on turning that into business. And so what he did was he had an iPad at the front door and he had them complete the survey before they came in and got their whatever ticket they got. And it was like, hey, we're going to give this iPad away at the end of the event, have a vendor pay for it. It's a 2-question survey if you'll just answer it real quick. And now he's asking them if they're going to sell their home in the next 12 months. Question 2, do you know anybody moving to Frisco in the next 12 months, right? And so now you can do surveys at live events. And so that's how, for me, I built a huge organization across, the globe, I guess, international organization. But at one time it wasn't, it was really North America. And I would say the #1 thing that I used in my methodology of doing that was the survey. The survey is a good, powerful strategy. I would survey every unconverted lead I had, every buyer lead I generated would get an email, an auto sequence on day 8, right? For a survey. I would get the divorce list of people who filed for divorce, and I would get that data appended. And I wouldn't call them and ask them if they're going to a divorce. I wouldn't call them and ask them if they were looking. I would call them and treat them just like they lived in a neighborhood. That's what we did. Is we started running home evaluation ads. And in step 1, it would say, put your address here. Step 2 was tell us a little bit about your home. Step 3 was then give us your name and phone number. Well, the problem is people would get to step 3 and then they would do what they call as cart abandonment. They would abandon the process. But because we created the contact upon step 1, we created the contact in the CRM when they gave us their address. We now had their address. We could literally upload that address to RedX, to any other service that provided phone numbers. And with that, 62% of all of our listings taken in 2016 from online lead generation were from people who gave us step 1, never completed step 2, but then were called for a survey and had a conversation about selling their home. But here's the thing. The ad did not say find out what your home is worth. The ad said, thinking of selling your home, find out what it's worth. It's two different ads. When you say thinking of selling your home, right? Find out what your home is worth. And they go to step one and they put their address in and they don't finish. I just collected a lot of addresses in my marketplace of people that were thinking of selling their home. And I can go out and get a phone number for every single one of those individuals by appending the data. Again, that's all I did. 262 transactions, 2.2 million in GCI, all focused on listings by nailing a sales and mark. See, you don't have to do 10,000 things. You only have to do one or two things 10,000 times better. So that's all I got for you. Hopefully that was valuable. I did have slides. Let me show you just so you know. And I do have an entire, I mean, I'll share. This was part of my digital president. This is called, I was going to go through the slides, but the last time I did it, I'd be more than delighted to send them to you guys if you want the slides. But last time I did this presentation slides, I got ahead of myself. And then I felt like I got so excited about delivering the content. Because this content was actually delivered in a video that was recorded. So I had the slides because it's part of a course, but I hadn't given the presentation, but it was written off of our story. So I do have slides.
And everybody is saying they would love the slides, Michael.
Yeah, I can give you guys the slides. And we have, like I said, I build out surveys for everything I do. That's what I did. I just did it today. I mean, I built a slide deck this morning. I'm doing an agent attraction boot camp here in El Conquistador in Puerto Rico. And so I only invited 10 people and I had 2 more seats. And so I sent out an email for the event today, which is going over stuff like this, just stuff that I've developed over the last 4 years that have been, but I wanted to do a text message I wanted a text message call to action to an auto sequence that would then turn back and send them a survey, right? And so we imagine, how can you use that? Well, you can use that a lot of ways. You can use it in a YouTube video. Hey guys, this is Michael Reese. You looking to buy a home? One of the number one mismanaged variables in the home buying process is interest rates. What I mean by that? Well, before I tell you, I want to tell you, if you're looking at buying homes, one thing that we offer is a free list of homes, including bank foreclosures, distressed properties, basically homes that represent a good deal. If you would like that, then I want you to text 1-469-669-2213. I'd be more than willing to send that out to you automatically, quickly. Now, where was I at? Oh yeah, about the interest rates. Well, did you know, boom, I could put that's a monetized person. That's a live video. Live videos, I did a thing called monetized personal branding where I was able to generate almost $10,000 in traffic to my funnels every month. What I spent $10,000 online, I've spent $200,000 a month of my own money on Facebook ads. But what I got, how many clicks I got for 10,000, I was able to get for free doing live videos every day. That's how much a live video was worth. I could do this whole presentation on why you should go live every day on your business page in Facebook. But again, you still have to have an offer. If you go live and you don't have a funnel and you don't have an offer you can make, then you're just going to be going live. There's no way to put that marketing message into a sales process. It's not until you have the text, which is a call to action. So those are the frameworks, right? Those are the components of digital marketing.
So
I want to just know if I did better than Jay. I just want to know, did I do better than Jay? That's all I care about.
Dude, that was like so much info, so freaking fast. So let me ask you this, because my guess is a lot of the agents on here don't have a lot of tech background. If they've got a lead capture website, can they do something, or a website that at least like KV Core that at least has a home evaluation page? Could they do something like this where their live is basically the survey and drives them to that home eval page?
Yeah, if it were me, I would start with one neighborhood. I believe becoming the incredible Hulk in a puddle. So I I would try to, that's just how you build, right? Russell Rhodes in 2009 became the #1 agent in KW. I flew on a plane with him to Fairmont, me, him, and Jay, and he came back and he literally started a farm and he sold 72 homes in one neighborhood. You're never going to build a brand. I mean, I couldn't walk. I had 4 wrapped Hummers, 5 billboards. I was on the back of every magazine and I was in every mailbox in the city of Frisco twice a month, right? I walk into Denny's, the mall, Walmart, every cashier, every host, every kid, every adult had seen my face and knew who I was. That was all manufactured from nobody knowing who I was and struggling for 3 years to me going to Jay's office a month. He had 92 closings and I looked on the board and they all say Jay Kinder. And I was like, man, none of my people are looking for me. I'm chasing them. How do I, and so again, YouTube is why I wrote Digital President. It's an attraction. This is a chase method. It's a chase method, but you have to chase in the beginning, right? And so if it were me, if it were Michael Reese, I would do live videos. I would set this. Let me answer your first question. A lot of these people don't have a tech background. Every problem has a solution.
Right.
That's all I can say. And you have to, I learned from my mentor, good friend and buddy, Frank Kern. You can look it up online. The way he made 23.8 million in 24 hours online is he changed his mindset in one day. He started a dog training business in Macomb, Georgia, and he didn't know anything about building anything online. And he said, if someone put a gun to my head and I had 24 hours to get a landing page up, could I do it? If you knew sincerely they were going to pull the trigger. And I guarantee you, if there was a gun to my head right now and a guy said, hey, you need to build an app, I'd say, okay, how long I got? And I don't know what I would do. I'd probably start on YouTube. I'd probably have a podcast playing in the background. I'd probably be downloading ebooks, but I wouldn't be doing nothing, just sitting there saying I couldn't do it. And that's the process. And that's the problem, is that in order to get more, you have to become more. It's never about the goal. It's about who you have to become in order to accomplish the goal.
Absolutely.
And so for me, I always have one skill that I'm trying to learn every year. You know, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is, I always have one skill. I'm like, what's the one core skill? If I learn this, it'll make everything easier. The reason I say that is because when somebody hit my step 1, you got to remember, the minute they clicked on any of my live videos, they naturally, if they consume 5% or more, I had cascading videos that they would see me everywhere. That was
Frank Kern, right?
So that was. Well, he, I won't give him credit for that because I'd already written the book, but I think that we were both studying I called him to write the foreword for Digital President, and he couldn't write the foreword because he was actually literally launching a thing called IBB the following week, which it was just happened to be in conflict of, we were teaching the same thing. So it was cannibalizing.
Did you? Okay, yeah. Of course, yes.
Yeah. So I think he called it intent-based branding. We call it personal monetization, right? So monetize personalized branding, MPB. But it's the same concept. It's how you can put out that live content. And then once I got on YouTube, again, when I got on YouTube, I mean, the thing about YouTube is you don't have to run ads. It has traffic organically built into it.
YouTube's
and
crazy.
So, yeah. And the whole concept is you have to feed the machine, right? You have to, after they said yes to the survey, what did you say? So that's a good question. Who asked that? So if they wanted to make a move in the next 12 months, this goes back to your value proposition, right? So I can tell you what I would say now. I'll tell you what I'd say right now. I'd say, okay, great. Well, are you familiar with our 3 offer guarantee? That's what I would say. Would you entertain a cash offer on your home? That's what I would say. You know, I would, if I was in my, right now, if I asked that question and somebody said that, I'd say, well, great. Well, why have you on the call? I would like to make you aware of a new program. where you can receive up to 3 offers on your home in 48 hours and not have to go through the hassle of putting your home on the market and having a bunch of strangers come through it. Is that something that might be of interest to you? That's what I would say. Yeah. I'd make them what I would call is an irresistible offer, right? Now, how would I fulfill that offer? I'd fulfill that offer. I would say, well, let me walk you through how it works. First of all, no one's going to make you an offer on your home without seeing it, because we don't know what it's worth, right? It's called the principal price of elasticity. The same home in this, I don't know if the house has a cent, not saying it does, but I can tell you right now, whether I buy it or an institutional buyer buys it, we work with a company called Express Offers, which is institutional buyers. We also have other institutional buyers in the market that are buying. We're going to submit your home to all 3 of those people in the event your home qualifies. But the first step in that process is scheduling a time for me to come out and take a look at it. You know, is days or evenings usually better for you? I'm going to set the appointment, right? And if anybody asks me how it works, the script is exactly like it sounds. You come out, take a look at your home. We determine if it qualifies for an investor to buy it. If it does, we submit it to the investors. You get offers back. You either take them or not. While I'm out there, I do have a fiduciary responsibility. I just got to let you know I am a licensed real estate agent, and I have to let you know what a willing and able buyer who wanted to occupy the property would sell it for. So I'm going to come out and bring that information to you, because we don't want you to leave any equity on the table. So I'll put some math together, and while I'm out there, we can go over those numbers as well. Sound like a plan? Yep, great, thanks. Boom. 9 out of 10 times that rolls straight into a traditional listing appointment. I did it for over 5 years. So no matter what you say,
You make it sound so easy.
I'm sorry.
You make it sound so easy.
No, it's just repetition. You know, it's like a musician, right? Like, you know, you see a musician and they sing, but you don't see them like when they first start, you know, but thank you. I take that as a compliment, but, you know, for me, I was crazy enough to believe that, that I could make any of my goals happen. And I wasn't going to let someone else's no limit me from the things that I wanted to accomplish. And so there's a book called Go for No. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's a great book. And when I trained my ISAs, that was the goal. Like, I didn't give my ISAs high fives for setting appointments. I gave them high fives for no's. I wanted them to have a no goal. How many no's? Like, I want them to hit this many no's a day. That's what I want. If you hit this many no's, the yeses will come. But what happens is people reframe the negativity to cause inaction. A kid that was, I told that story, and at an EGS 2016, a guy comes up into the aisle and says, "Hey, Mike Reese, I bought the book, and my son sells popcorn for the Boy Scouts, and he hates it every single year. And so we made a deal. We'd go to the grocery store. Once he got 100 people tell him no, we could leave." He said, "We ended up selling out all the popcorn. He couldn't get, he's never been able to get to 100 no cents." Right. And so, you know, it's just repositioning, you know, most of the game and things that other people are doing, you can do, but you have some limiting reason on why you think you can't. That's, you know, people are unconsciously incompetent, but it's having a cognitive behavior assessment, right? Because it's all about personal development. Like, for me, the number one book on mindset in the world is a book called Loving What Is. And the whole book comes down to saying, is that true? So, you know, if you have something that's going on and you ask yourself and you pause and you say, is that really true? You know, a lot of the times that narrative that you're creating, I mean, I'm sure if I thought that way, I wouldn't do it either. But I just don't have those thoughts, right? I just don't have those thoughts. I think anything is possible. And I think that every problem has a solution. So I feel empowered, not disempowered. And I feel like my job is to solve problems. And I believe you need to play offense and not defense. I don't think you should wake up and ever focus on where you're losing. I think every day you should focus on winning. And I don't care where you're losing in your life. Obviously you have to acknowledge it, but dwelling on it ain't going to do anything. That's taking out your ability or your own agency. Everybody has the ability to act. You always have a move. There's always a move on the table. If you're not clear on the problem and your next move, that's your problem, because you're disempowered, you're unmotivated, you're in a rut. And that's because maybe anxiety of what you're anticipating in the future, and maybe you're running processes around situations that will never happen. There's a book called Surrender, How to Go From Your Heart and Not From Your Head. Don't worry about the future. It'll all work out. You wouldn't have got here. You wouldn't have got here. You got here, right? Yeah. There's a book called a new one called The Gap by Dan Sullivan. It talks about why most people are focused on the future, and you got to focus on how far you've come, But all of that mixed into a pot puts you in the mindset. Like, I surrender. I come from my heart. I'm not going to worry about the future. I'm not going to, but what I am going to do is I'm going to make the most of today. I know what I got to do today. I have an effort metric. And if it doesn't work, that means I'm one test away from finding something that does work. Because I've never had to test more than 6 things in order to find the thing. And so I need to get to work, right? So I'm empowered in the ability to act. When things are happening to you, you've heard it, it's a victim. So like, victim is here on the consciousness scale. Courage is on the consciousness scale. It's the one step above. It's where people, if you ever look at Dr. David Hawkinson's consciousness scale, like below is empowering emotion. So, shame is the lowest one. People will feel shame in their life for something that had happened to them, and they can live in that consciousness scale, which makes it hard to act. Courage is when you put a line in the sand. Courage is saying, there's something I can do about this, and I can act. Now, because you've taken your agency, you've taken control and said, I know all this stuff has happened. That's fine. But I can do this, or I can do this. These things are in my control. I'm not going to worry about the things not in my control, and I can act. And I think that's what makes you good at listings, because listings isn't about a trick. It's about a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself, right? That's what sellers want. If you think this was a good presentation, I think my sellers thought my presentation was good. Why did they think it was good? Well, because I gave it 368 times successfully, meaning I had to do it 700 times. And every time I didn't win, I went home to learn, because I never tied losing to a negative thing. I either won or I learned. And every time I learned, I became more valuable in the marketplace, right? I can talk to you guys all day.
That was amazing. Oh my God. I've been writing so fast, Michael. It's like crazy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask this. I know a lot of people, probably still agents on this call, they don't.
Hey, one thing, make sure you go follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Michael Reese. If you like this, you'll love my YouTube channel.
Okay. We'll drop the YouTube link in our Facebook group. I'll go grab it.
So definitely.
And I am getting so psycho around YouTube. I love that you said that. I don't know if you think media, it's got a big YouTube channel, and they did an audit, and their #1 highest played video that was not a short, right? For total minutes watched in 2021 was a video they shot in 2018. Like, how crazy is that? To the power of evergreen content on YouTube.
I love YouTube.
And
love.
So Michael, could you tell, because a lot of these agents aren't that familiar with the NAEA, with your giant like course. If they're, because I can feel them, I can hear them. They're like, how do I learn? Like, this was such a blast of info, but how do I learn? How do I master these skills? But you guys, you and Jay have basically built the whole thing out, and it's massive.
Give me 1 second. I would never do this, but 1 second. Hello?
Totally.
Yeah, I'm on a Zoom call. Who's this? Oh, I want to talk to you. Can you call me back in, let's say, 20 minutes? I'll be available for the rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Listen, let me tell you something. When 787 comes up, some people, it's hard to get a hold of people. If someone calls me from Puerto Rico, I answer. because it could take me 7 weeks to get them back on the phone.
I totally get it.
So I apologize. I wouldn't have taken it, but it was a 787 number. But anyway, what was that question again?
Oh, so could you give for the agents that are on here, a little idea of what's in the NAEA?
So where do these agents, are these buyer agents, teams, individuals? Are they
They're all agents who want to take more listings.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
they're from all over the country.
Okay,
We even
gotcha.
have Puerto Rico agents in here.
There you go.
We actually have like 15 agents from Puerto Rico.
Gotcha. And okay. Are any of them independent brokers or?
I don't know. You know why? You know why I don't know? Because we didn't do a survey, bro. I didn't have a survey in my
There you
funnel.
go. There you go.
Survey is going in my funnel. And can I just
There you
grab
go. There you go.
my snapshot? I've got a snapshot
Yeah.
that's badass. Like I've got like, I got at least 100 funnels. And I like to see
Nice.
them. I love that Frank loves ClickFunnels. I'm like, give me that, Frank. Thank you for that funnel.
There you go. There you go. I like it. Well, I mean, I put out new content every single week on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Michael Reese. I feel like that's where I've been putting out 2 to 3 videos a week since May.
Wow.
So I think there's a ton of content there. I don't want to.
Out this morning.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing. And so because what we were sharing with these guys is this is just the very last day of our 5-day challenge. And we're just sharing with them how they can get all of this content and partner with us for nothing.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. 100%.
So-
Yeah. I mean, I would say that, one of the things is, when we partnered with you guys, and part of what we do is, it's just a different business model. I think that a lot of people that are looking to grow their business, they just need access to the right information and tools. And, that's what I got. For me, that's what changed my business is I had somebody, a lot of the times you'll learn the door, but you never learn the hinge. Right. And so you got just enough information. But you need that last mile to execute. And so, at NAEA, one of the things that we provide is everything you need to win. We do a online on-demand boot camp, a certification called the Certified Home Buying Advisor, Certified Home Selling Advisor. The top agents in the world have sent their agents to us for over a decade to train them. I like to say it's like training someone to disarm a bomb. Who wants to be partly trained? Imagine if your job, everybody on here, was to disarm bombs. Would you want to skip a course? Would you want to skip a couple classes, or would you want to make sure you went to all the classes? Right. And so for us, I believe that, it's like the chicken or the egg. I think does motivation breed production, or does production breed motivation? I think all of that, I think production does get you motivated. And I think in order to get production, I think you have to increase your skill set. And I do believe, and this is just me, I get fulfillment out of getting better. I love to learn. So, I talk to agents all the time and they're like, well, I win all my appointments. I just need more appointments. I'm not saying that that's a bad way to be. I just, I think that inherently, there's always something you can learn to do better. What do you do when they don't show up? Yeah. When an appointment doesn't show up? I know that every appointment that you've had in your entire life is not every single one of them showed up. Do you have a reschedule sequence? Do you mail them anything of value? Most agents could make more money in their business just by communicating to their database. Everybody, right. Surveying your database. If you're not emailing your database once a month, if you're not leveraging the triangle of trust, if you're not producing content, your database's value is elastic to your communication. Every day it's becoming more valuable or less valuable. Jack Mitchell, hug your customer, right? So how do you manage your database? What's your client referral efficiency ratio? What percentage of your past clients sent you a referral? If I have 100 past clients and you have 500 and we both get 20 referrals, then one of us did worse than the other because it was the TAM, the total addressable market. I had more people. But what happens if every one of your clients gets a text message on their birthday? What happens if every one of your past clients gets, an item of value, 3 phone calls a year, right? Hope isn't a strategy. You have to have a system. What is your system at closing, right? Like, do you do a survey at every closing? Why not? You could survey them. What could you survey them and ask? You could get their birthday, hug your customer. If you had their birthday, you could put them into a 10-year text sequence. It would take you 1 minute and they get a text message on their birthday for the next 10 years from you. That's one way to stay top of mind. But if you don't communicate with them, think about the 368 homes I listed my third year in the business. All those homeowners bought that home from an agent that didn't stay in touch with them.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, Mike, I swear.
If every one of your past clients gave you a referral, this year, would you have a good year or a bad year? You'd have a damn good year. So the question is what system, method, strategy, investment, like what is your plan, right? What are you going to do? And, how are you going to do it? And it's still marketing and a sales process, but it can be done. And so again, there's so many things that you can do. I'd love to, if you guys have any questions, I'd be more than delighted to answer any of them, but I hope I answered your question in regards to NAEA. It's access to the best training, partnered with us. I think it's called alignment. Our goal is to help you, optimize your business and, hit your goals.
Man. And then, now we have questions coming in. So everybody, feel free to drop questions in the chat. You're even welcome to unmute and just ask. So Petra said, where can we find a decent ISA? Is there a company that you recommend?
I can't say that I recommend a company. I'll answer the question different. I would read the book if you're really interested. The first question is, do we do virtual or not? And that's a different question. I'll tell you that if you want to hire the right ISA, then you need to have a lot of applicants. Don't hire the first one or the third one. If 50 people apply for the job, then you probably will find the right person. If 3 do, you probably won't. So the real question is how do you promote that you're looking for an ISA? See, most people, they hire someone by default because they're looking for a job and they're licensed, and that doesn't make them a good ISA. We created a little hiring an ISA. We have a little, I don't even know where it's at. But I do have a little product that I created back when we were doing it that went through kind of the entire process, soup to nuts, where we ran the ads. So for us, we had a little, that became our biggest problem, by the way, but we did perfect it. I mean, that's how we hired so many, but I personally would, I'd hire someone. I would never, ever, 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 ever sell real estate without an ISA.
Wow, that's strong. Okay.
Well, I would never cook I would never own a McDonald's that I cook the French fries.
Yeah. And I know Jay talked about it yesterday.
It's a business. It's a business. My future, a lot of people don't have a vision for their business. One of the best exercises that I ever had to do was Clayton Mass, built $1 billion company. I flew out to meet with him, founder of Infusionsoft, and Clayton in 2009 gave me a pen and a big sticky, and he said, he tricked me. He was like, so Mike, what's your revenue at? And I don't know, 2 million. And he was like, where are you going to be in 5 years? Oh, we'll be at 15 million. And he wrote it on the piece of paper, and it had a sticky, and he stuck it on the wall. He said, draw me the organizational chart on what it looks like at 15 million. I was like, what? Oh. He said, draw the org chart at 15 million. Wow. And so the minute he did that, I had to say, oh my God, to get to 15 million, I'm going to need people. And to need people, how many am I going to need in marketing, sales, videographers? I was drawing it for a different business, but the same concept applied, right? How many buyers agents, listing agents, do I have showing agents, ISAs? When I got done, I thought I crushed it. It was like an hour and a half. I really put some work into it. There's a book called Organizational Physics. And, to grow and scale, you have to become good at operations. And so I had done a little bit of this work, but it always seemed like, I know now it's the most important work, but back then it seemed like busy work. So I didn't understand, Elon Musk said to build $1 billion company, you have to organize people to create value, right? Organize people to create value. And so as I saw that organizational structure at 15 million, he came back and he said, I want you to write what it looks like at 5 million. So now I had to take people away. And so I started taking who we wouldn't have. He comes back and he says, now show me it at 4 million, double from where you're at now. So I do that. He comes back and circles all the people and he says, what order are you going to hire the people and at what revenue? What's their salary cap, right? And he made me have to think about the business. See, it's first who, then what, Jim Collins, right? There's a lot of stories, but again, I don't care whether it's Jay's business, Veronica's business, your business, doesn't matter whose business. People who've done anything great has been by attracting and retaining top talent. That's the game you're in, right? You have to attract talent. So how do you hire the right ISA? I think the real question I would ask you is like, what's your current organizational structure? What's that look like 3 years from now? And what is the order in which the people you need to hire? And then once you go into that, you have to know like the unit economics, how much, like for me, I knew my personal production and how much of my income went to running the machine, right? Because the thing with the team is that some teams would actually, the person would be more profitable not having a team. They lose profit so they can have a trophy, right? So they can be number one. And so, really getting into, how you're building your business and what you're trying to build is important. I like ISA because ISA is a revenue generating function. So if you look at, you only have two things. You're either creating a sale or servicing a sale. Transaction coordinator, servicing a sale. Courier, putting out a sign, servicing a sale. Variable expense, only have to put out a sign when I get a listing, right? So you have variable expenses, fixed expenses, you create sales or service sales. And so your first investment in your business should always be in a revenue generating activity, right? That should be the goal. And so the goal is how are you organizing your next move?
So if somebody's bringing in, say it's their first ever ISA, Michael, do you recommend putting them on like bonus and hourly or straight commission, or how do you guys do it?
Well, first of all, you're not going to get a good ISA if everything starts with the hook. You're not going to get a good ISA without a hook. And to have a good ISA, the books, I think let me give you there's two places you can buy the book, and one place, if you buy it, you won't get it. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
I don't know the right link. Let me find out.
Is this for digital marketer?
No, this is Inside Sales Predictability. Chapter 1 is hiring the ISA. And to answer your question is you want to start with OTE. That's the answer to your question. And OTE stands for on target earnings. Oh, okay. Right. And so I'll just give you a little, I'll share my screen and just show you one last thing before we I think just to demonstrate, let me see if I can find this. Hold on one second. So ISA, I might have this. I might not. Let's see here. Yeah, so
That's how I feel.
I have an entire webinar that breaks down, paying the ISA. I think let me show you some. So like sorry, I'm looking through some different documents.
Oh no, you're totally fine. I was just dropping the name of your book into the group there.
So I don't see. What I did was I made a calculator for OTE. OTE means on target earnings, and so based upon, for us, our ads were designed around what you would make if you were on target to hit the goals that you would have, right?
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wish I could find this because I think it would be. So like, I mean, you know, I mean, I got a couple things here. I mean, I can just show you just to demonstrate. I don't know all of them, but like this was my ISA bonus compensation model, right?
Oh, nice.
And so for me, you know, I had a real detailed onboarding thing. I don't see it in our pay structure. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I'll have to find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But it's basically a document that I use to lay out all my ISA pay scales.
Oh man, God, you could just tell that you put a ton of time into this. Look at that.
Yeah, it worked though. It worked. I mean, there's all kinds of models that I got all the math broken down.
Wow.
You know, some of this stuff I didn't like that sheet. I didn't end up having to use because I ended up building my own dialer. We ended up you know, we had to hire someone who knew telephony and build our own dialer. But it was a game changer for us, right?
Really? So was there something that your dialer did that was different, or were dialers at the time just a little not as sophisticated? I know we used Mojo forever.
Oh, so I brought Mojo to real estate.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
A small world.
Yeah. So I understood. What's that? I'm sorry, you lost.
That's a small world.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of my backstory. Is when YouTube first came out, I had learned about Mojo from. But to answer your question, I understood the things that I liked and didn't like about it, and I worked on a couple different dialers. I'd worked on that dialer. Another one with RedX. I'd worked with Curtis and
the Storm dialer and
Storm. Yeah, yeah. So they launched Storm at our conference in 2012 in Arizona.
Get out of town.
Yeah, so we worked a lot on dialers, but with dialers, there were things that we wanted, and so we ended up building our own dialer. And so we would get the numbers that I wanted in the spreadsheet. I didn't want to have to go to a spreadsheet anymore.
Yeah, just have the dialer put the numbers right in.
I wanted to be able to, yeah, but you have to manually track what you want before you can, you know, build the system to.
Yeah.
And so, and we wanted it to all be, I think dialers are, you know, a dialer is a dialer now. I guess there's some things that we learned, but for the most part, you know, I think Mojo is a great tool, and so is Storm.
Yeah, Storm got better. It got better.
Yeah.
I was on Storm when it only had one line back in the day. And
absolutely.
So, well, man, I cannot thank you enough. Do we have any last questions?
We do. They want to know where they can buy your Inside Predictability book.
Let me look real quick. Give me 2 seconds and I'll let you know.
And we should probably drop them the link too for Digital President. Is it just digitalpresident.com?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Hello?
Hey, where can they buy the Inside Sales Predictability book? Do you know what URL we put that at? You do? Let me check.
Oh, and then while you're looking at that, Michael, we had one last question. I'm just kind of scrolling through the comments. Jeff had asked, do you have a best approach for getting in front of Fsbos?
Yeah. So I think it's so the best approach to get in front of Fsbos is to have the best value proposition.
Makes
Does that make sense?
Because it's super competitive.
Yeah. So for us, you know, my number one postcard for Fsbos was flexible commission rates. Right. When I added flexible commission rates to my postcard, the phone rang.
Really?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. And we were flexible. 7%, 6.5%, 6.
Okay. Now I really do love you.
I'm just saying we had a platinum program, a gold program, a silver program.
And 6% was your silver.
Well, I'm not, you know, it's the Sure My Name I Trust Act. We can't really talk about what we charge, but my program, I had 3 different programs with 3 different sets of benefits, and we were flexible. And when they called, you know, we did have pay as little as 0% commission that we added. I go all through this in our Fsbo training. But we did have it said the postcard said flexible commission rates, pay as little as 0%.
Wow.
And to pay 0, they had to bring the 0. The asterisk was you would pay 0 commission for the buyer side of the contract if you found the buyer on your own, because a lot of them had people they were working with.
Gotcha.
So we said pay as little as 0%, and we said it. And I would say, hey, listen, once you hire us to help you with the listing side, we're going to market it to the buyers. But listen, there's going to be a buyer agent commission, and we're going to let you continue to try to sell it on your own as we continue. And if you sell it on your own, you will pay your 0 on the buy side. And again, it's a program, right?
Well,
it's our program.
It's such a smarter way to put it out there, because how many times do we offer that to a Fsbo? We're like, no problem. You showed Dick, Jane, and Tom. We're going to put them as an exclusion to the listing. And if you sell to them, you don't owe us a penny. But we never think to market it that way or to package it in a way that just makes sense.
It's
awesome.
the marketing world. You think backwards.
I just closed one doing that.
And who was that?
Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kelly,
yeah.
where are you out of?
They were dead set on Fsbo, and I says, you know, and I gave them the options, the 3 different options, and they found a buyer and it saved them 4%.
I put the link to the book in the deal.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I'm actually going to
Thank
grab
you.
it. Okay. I've got it so that it's saved, you guys. So if you have to bail out of the Zoom, we've got the link. Oh, I don't think I did grab it. Let me make sure I got it.
Did you just say the link?
It's right there in the Zoom comments. I don't know why it kept, here, let me. There we go. 3rd tries a charm. Got it. Okay, awesome. So I'll make sure, you know what's going to happen? We're getting this book. Like, I don't know about any of y'all that are on the training, but we're getting it. So.
Well, y'all enjoy it. And I do, if you, I do have other stuff that I can share, but hopefully that was good.
That was
amazing.
amazing.
Thank you guys.
It was amazing. And does anybody get even, so I got to tell you too, Michael, I've always kind of been snobby and thought myself well-read. I feel like a moron right now. I'm like, so I got to ask on a total aside, how many books do you read a month, give or take?
You know, not as much as I used to. So Happiness Hypothesis, that's the book I got last night that I'm diving into.
Nice.
Right now. So it's a really good book, really fascinating. You know, I used to read a whole lot. I would say when I was in the trenches, I was reading a book every 3 days,
Wow.
You know, and I don't just, at that particular time, I didn't read, I studied. So that meant I always was reading books around a topic.
Right.
I wouldn't just read this book and then this book. I would determine the topic and then find the books on that topic and read as many books. So if I wanted to master LinkedIn, right? Like one day, well, I bought this book. Like this was right? Like how to build a call center for dummies, right?
Oh, there you go. I actually love those books. they're better
So
than
I always would get the dummies books because they were written for me, but like under any topic, I think I have if any business models for dummies, but I would buy whatever I'm working on. I remember I bought a bunch of different books on LinkedIn, and I just felt like if I read 4 books on a topic, then I'm, for that topic, I'd be, at the top of my class in the top 90%. And so that's what I did with Inside Sales is I bought, started buying every book that I could buy. There was good books around skills. I didn't get so much on how to build a call center, but I got a lot around training salespeople and, stuff like that. So yeah, that was all super valuable and managing them and compensating them.
Boy.
No.
That right. All of those things. That's amazing. And that's, it's a little bit like what we did in our workbook that came out is we grouped books under subjects that came out for everybody. We've got one last question here, Michael.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've got a couple people asking is if we started with just one thing to start generating seller leads, I'll ask it like this, where would you start? If you're right where they are today in today's market, you had to start over from scratch with zero budget to generate seller leads, what would your one strategy be?
If I had to pay for my kids' shoes by selling a house and I had nothing in the pipeline and I was in a new market, I would pick up the phone and I would get phone numbers and do surveys. That's what I would do because that's the fastest way to make money. That's what I would do. If I had to pay my bills or be stressed about not being able to pay my bills, then I have to remove the bottleneck. I can't wait for people to come to me. I can't act. I can't sit around and not have my future. There's like if I'm waiting for a lead, then I'm waiting, then my future is not in my control.
Right.
So I have to remove that bottleneck to where at least now, if I'm not successful, it's due to my lack of discipline. Effort is the energy it takes to overcome resistance. Right?
Yeah, I love it.
Effort is the energy it takes to overcome resistance. Things like this are effortless because I don't believe it's going to work. I know it's going to work. And so since I know, I never stop putting out effort. Most people, when they start, they hit resistance and their belief diminishes. They never get an experience. So they don't believe it's going to work. And why would they waste their time? But the truth is that everything, I knew that if I did the IS, like for me, I rather put an Olympian effort into it and know that I did all I could and that it doesn't work than to leave a good idea on the table and then I didn't actually really try, right? And so if I was, I would say, all right, here's the deal. I'm calling 10,000 phone numbers. I'd rather fail fast so I can move on to the next thing. But I'm going to be able to tell you, I made $10,000. I did exactly what you said, and that shit did not work. I want to be able to say that, right? But you can't. You can't make $10,000 and survey that many people and not find tons of people.
Yeah.
But now you have, now you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I sat here for 4 hours and found a $10,000 commission. That's a pretty good return of time.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know where you used to work before real estate, but that's a good exchange of your time. Right. And so when you really look at what that's worth. Now, I don't want to call a bunch of people. I mean, I could and I have. I don't want to. That's not what I would wake up enthusiastically doing. But doing a survey, I would. My goal is on a survey call is to provide value to the other person in exchange for what I'm going to get. And so that's the exchange. If I'm on the call with them and they say, no, we're not. Now I would probably say, okay, great. Well, if you're not, I want to tell you about a new local YouTube channel called Living in Dallas. Living in Dallas is a channel we launched for everybody. You can find out, the top 10 vegan restaurants, top places to do these things in the summer. So if you don't mind, I'd love to send you over a link to our channel or make sure you go check it out and subscribe. Every call would have a sell, whether I listed their home or I got a follower on YouTube. I would dial in that script, and to me, if I got a follower on YouTube, that would be just as valuable. Imagine if I would have been making 1 million calls a month and every one of those calls would have pitched the YouTube channel at the very end. And imagine if 15% of those people would have went and followed me, I would have still got them. You know what I mean?
You'd got them sooner or later. And so then I
I'd have
think
still got
that
'em.
answers my question, which was, if you had a second strategy, it would be it sounds like it's YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is my second strategy because it gives a lift to everything you're doing. So let's say I get a buyer lead right now. This happened. Someone called me this week and they were like, "Hey, Mike, I've been calling my leads and they're not, they're not too hot." And there was a particular buyer that kind of brushed them off, right? I think the buyer asked a question regarding, they asked a specific question. And when they texted the buyer back, that buyer became disengaged, right?
Right.
And so we talked about the content and I said, listen, if that were me, I would have 10 videos. Like if I'm going to engage with somebody, like let's say I get a buyer lead, it would say, "Hey, I noticed you were looking at houses. I wanted to send you this video. It's about the top builders in your price point. I hope you enjoy it." Right. And that'd be a video on my YouTube channel with calls to actions in the descriptions. And I'd have one that went out and that would all be automated, right? I would have a pipeline that when I dragged them, when I drag my lead to contact, because your goal with leads is to make contact, to determine timing and motivation and put them into the next action, right? And so if I'm on the phone with them, if they're not motivated, then they're going into a long-term nurture, which means they're going to get content dripped upon them, whether that's old content that's been put into a follow-up sequence or new content that's broadcasted after we publish it. But
Right.
once they're in my community, I'm going to have a preeminence. I'm going to feel like these people are looking for me to help them. Even if they haven't said it, I'm going to earn it by helping them in advance.
Right. And so and if there's
every single question, every buyer and seller asks you is a YouTube video, period. And there's no way the 20,000 people in your community online can find you if there ain't nothing out there that you put out for them to look at. So your only other option is to wake up every morning at the crack of dawn and chase them down or put content out there so they can find you. And that's the Digital President book. And that book is at michaelreesebook.com. And that's the book I wrote saying, if I knew what I knew now after I wrote this, what would I do different? And that's what Digital President, that's what motivated to write that.
And that was michaelreesebook.com.
Uh-huh.
Got it. Okay. I don't know about anybody else, but within 8 seconds of being done here, I'm buying that book. That was brilliant.
Thank you guys.
Brilliant. Michael, I cannot thank you enough.
Thanks for the extra time and tips. It was amazing.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank
Total
you.
servant leader, man. Total servant leader, dude. You gave us so much time, and so much information.
Thank you so much.
Never focus on losing. Never focus on losing. Only focus on winning. Never focus on losing. Only focus on winning. You always have a move. It's never the problem. It's only how you're thinking about the problem. And your number one job in your business is to be able to clearly articulate the problem statement. Meaning, what's the number one thing? If you solve that problem, makes everything else in your business infinitely easier. And you have to then subordinate everything. This is the goal, and attack that problem. And that's your job. And if you do that and repeat that process, you can build an amazing business.
Man, I just got new affirmations for my morning. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you, guys.
Right?
Y'all be good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Woo!
Bye-bye.
Woo!
Wow. Whoa.
My mind is blown.
Guys,
Can I tell you-
I don't say this that often, but
Holy shit.
I had a hard time keeping up, guys, and I do what he does. I was just like, whoa. And then I was like, wow, look at all this stuff I can make better.
At the same time, I'm thinking, thank God we have a replay because I've got to watch this 5 more times.
Yes. And I'm going to we've got to transcribe these.
Yes, definitely.
I think we
Especially,
probably transcribe
Jay and
them.
Michael's definitely need to be transcribed because there is so much information there.
Yeah.
And that last little statement that he just put, honest to God, I am writing those out. They are going on my wall. I will repeat that every single day. I have new affirmations.
That's amazing. Oh, and Delise, the reason day 3 vanished is because I realized after I put it out in the group, I realized there was like a 10-second or 20-second dead air at the beginning of the video. And I'm kind of a perfectionist. So I re-edited that video, but that means it gets issued a brand new YouTube link. And so the old link broke. So that's what happened with day 3. So for these videos, you guys, all of them will go in the group. They are all, now that he's talking so much about YouTube, I've been keeping these unlisted, but I think I might just make them public. So
Absolutely.
you guys, you're going to be able to find them on my YouTube channel. So let me, and my YouTube channel is in our Facebook group, but it's.
Will that also be number 3? Like, will you reissue number 3 then?
Yeah, it's already out. I already dropped it in last night or this morning. I can't remember.
Thanks.
No, quite all right. And so you'll have links to them on my YouTube channel. We'll have them in the group. We send them out to you in email. All of the books and everything are going in the group. You guys, seriously, issue. And then Laura is saying issues finding leads to make calls to survey them. Are there oh yeah, totally. So, and here's Laura. So here's a bunch of resources for you. Okay. So if what you're looking for are people to lists of names for people to call to survey, you can do it a number of different ways. So there are tons of services out there, you guys. That's all they do. So one is landvoice.com. Okay. One is the Red X, spelled the red and then just x.com. Who knew that Michael helped them develop the Storm Dialer?
I had no clue.
Holy shit. Like I helped them prototype that dialer. I made the jump, but then it was kind of slow. So I went back to Mojo and then but I liked the integration with the Red X. But anyway, so like mind blown about that. Okay. So Land Voice, the Red X, both of those will get you any number of lists that you want. So if you want lists of for sale by owners, if you want lists of expireds, if you want lists pulled geographically from a neighborhood or a city. So let's say you want to target your bloody neighborhood, or you want to target, so like, let's just say here in Utah, let's say I want to target Capitol Hill because the homes are really freaking expensive. Okay. You can pull lists by zip code, all kinds of things through those services. They're subscription services. Both the Land Voice and the Red X, they're both month to month, aren't they, Tamra?
They are. Yeah. And so, you don't have to have a contract with either one. And I do believe, they used to, I'm not sure they do it much anymore, just because they've grown. But you can get trial deals with Red X. And I think Land Voice even has like a 10-day trial. But honestly, I mean, even if you're just doing the geo farming, setting up the survey, holy hell, you know how many conversations you could have? I mean, my goal every day is to have 30 meaningful conversations. It's not 30 contacts, it's 30 meaningful conversations a day. That's how I've ran my business. I didn't do it off of contacts because contacts freaked me out. Meaningful conversations, on the other hand, I could have.
That's funny. I was the other way around. I'm like, meaningful conversations. I'm like, if they hung up on me, that counted. I'm like, one contact, damn it.
But yeah, I think that's that whole home ownership survey. Even just, getting a simple subscription, making these phone calls to all of the leads that pop up, you seriously could have more conversations just because you're coming at a different angle. You're not diving in for a listing immediately. So you're coming at them from a different direction.
I was
every other agent out there.
I was blown away by that because I used to hate making circle prospecting or just listed, just sold phone calls, guys. I can't even tell you. I'm going to answer that funnel question in a second, guys. I see it. I can't even tell you how much I wanted to tear my effing hair out. Like I would have paid money just to have a Fsbo yell at me because at least they're doing something. You know what I mean? Yep. But that idea of the survey for homeowners, I'm like, how stupid simple is that?
Well, and I had no idea. I'm going to go back through. I have the Ask method. I actually bought that program. And so the fact that he brought that up and the surveys, it's like, okay, I have homework now. So I have the Ask method. I'll go back through and read over that just so I have a little bit more in my brain in regards to surveys.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so to ask the question, so we had 2 questions in here. We had,
they're both on funnels. What's the the best way to set up a funnel and what is a funnel? Okay. So guys, so really quickly, I'm going to say this in case anybody needs to jump out. This is funnels are what I do. Okay. So I have systems that Tamra's laughing because it was School of Hard Knocks, and about $150,000 invested in courses and tens of thousands invested in software. So you guys are welcome to go do that, or you could just give me a call. And, cause I have pretty much got them figured out. As a matter of fact, I can't say for sure. I meant to ask him, but I do believe that Michael uses Go High Level, and which is what I use. And so what a funnel is in its simplest form, you guys, it's a landing page with only one action that the consumer can take, one and one alone. And it's whatever the thing is that they're there to find out. So if it's thinking about selling your home, find out what your home is worth, click here. That would be a landing page for a funnel. And then they'd click there and it would open a 2-question survey, apparently. And then it would go to another page, which is called the thank you page. And it would send you the lead, right? And the lead will go directly into your CRM. Now, if that sounds really hard and complicated and you're like, oh, that kind of makes me want to throw up, you guys don't even worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about it because I've got, Attraction.io is the white label of High Level. Noelle Kennedy. She sent that to me privately. I knew it. So guys, here's the beautiful thing. For sure, if you have interest in any of that, book a call with us because I have it already pre-built, everything pre-built, the funnels, the automation that makes everything play nice, the whole 9. As a matter of fact, when you guys signed up for this course, you came through a funnel. Remember, you hit a landing page and had a bunch of info but there was only one button to click. Remember, sign up, all the way down the page. Now, I make mine kind of fancy, but they don't have to be, right? They can be very simple. As a matter of fact, Frank Kern would smack me in the head and yell at me for my funnel being so fancy. His are always very, very, very bland.
White background, red headline, black subheadline, red button, done. Like he builds them in like 2 minutes. And so Marie is asking, do you need Go High Level for the funnels or can you use KV Core? So Marie, the KV Core absolutely positively has the ability to build landing pages. It's got a very robust CRM attached. I wish I could be a little more detailed for you, but full disclosure, I came into the company using Go High Level already in place. And I have not spent the time to really take a deep dive into KV Core. I will tell you this. I know a great lady named Vicky in, I think she's in Rhode Island or Massachusetts. Noelle Kennedy knows her too.
Yeah.
She is a KV Core super freak, man. She ran her entire brokerage off KV Core. And she is actually in the process of putting together a KV Core training that I'm going to get for free. And then I'll give it away to you guys.
I use KV Core and High Level.
Oh, so what do you think, Noelle, answering that question?
Right now, KV Core, you cannot edit a landing page.
Oh, well, what the hell?
and you cannot duplicate.
Okay, then then I would recommend go high level.
So, yeah. That's
And-
what technically you can, and you can hook it up to a simplified drip campaign and stuff. But I don't suggest doing it because God forbid you make a simple spelling mistake. You're back to doing the whole thing over again.
So guys, I'm
Well,
going to
can I ask a question for Go High Level? I kind of was exposed to that in the coaching program that Tamra was also involved in, and it seemed very convoluted. Is it hard to learn, and are there people who could set it up for us and then just teach us?
So I'm gonna answer that question for you, Marie. I'm not gonna lie. It's an incredibly robust platform, which means it's inherently a lot to learn because it does so much. It will replace about 15 platforms that you would have to use if you were to do other. Don't even get me started. Now
Yeah.
High Level allows you to build out what are called snapshots, which you can share snapshots with other people. And so I've personally, in my multiple Go High Level, I've got multiple snapshots. I bet you I've got 100 funnels.
It's like trading templates. It is awesome. You can share forms, you can share surveys. Now you can actually do your social media right from High Level. There's a ton of YouTube videos, a ton of training. If you're used to working with CRMs and ClickFunnels and stuff, there's a quicker taking to it, but it all depends upon your technology level.
Yeah. Now to answer your question about training, and I would say definitely just reach out to me because I've got a package that's snapshots that are already pre-built and ready to go with a whole lot in them. And then I'd be willing, if we had enough people leveraging the platform, I'd be more than willing to do like a regular training on it. So that people could come in and it would be live. It would be a live training with screen share where I'm like, okay, this is how you set up your workflow. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
That's the only way to learn that program.
It is. And that's how I learned it. That's how I learned it. I had a really smart guy pretty much hold my hand and do lots of training with me. And so that is also, if you guys have any interest at all, and it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with, you could be with EXP, you could be with another brokerage, it does not matter. Any agent can use it. If you have questions about that, Doug was saying the training sounds good. Yeah, if we get a lot of people interested, guys, I'm just going to commit to you now. I will do a regular training just on High Level, and I will bring in guest experts who will jump in and teach you the stuff that I'm like the people I call when I'm like, I broke. Yeah, those people, I'll have them come in and it'll be totally free. That'll be a free thing that I do. Now I can't give you Go High Level for free, guys, because it's not my platform. I don't own it. But what I can give you is the only way you can get like my snapshots is through my link. So don't go sign up for Go High Level. If anybody's like, I'm going to go Google it and sign up, don't do it. Okay. Don't wait. I'll share a link with you guys. And then, and I can't remember, but I think they're now offering a 30-day free trial. So you could try it for a full month. And if you're just like
14 days, I just looked it up.
Is it? Well, I think mine is 30. That's why I said, don't use somebody else's link.
Yeah, no, his is 30.
Yeah. Mine gives you a full month. And if you try it and you're like, it's just, I'm throwing in the towel. It's too much for me, whatever. Guys, don't worry about it. Kill it, or set aside an hour or two a week to learn it. Because I'm going to tell you, I initially was a little flustered by it because it was very different from the system I had learned on. And then now it's just like old hat. It's like learning a new CRM. We make it a bigger deal than it is. I think where we get anxious is when we don't feel like we have help. Like, where can I go and ask actual questions and get hands-on help? That was like turning the freaking corner for me. When I had that, I was able to learn it pretty quickly.
I mean, my husband and I are a team, and we use the pipeline functions to work through our leads and to also set up automated tasks and emails to go out to our clients and to remind each other what to do. And it has completely automated our business and has made us go so much faster and deal with so many more transactions.
And
I'm
Noelle
glad to
is
teach about
amazing.
pipelines.
Yeah, Noelle is amazing at this, and she also does chatbots, which can automate your response back and forth, where the consumer can have a two-way conversation with the automation. Which you guys don't even know, I'm such a psycho freak. I love chatbots so much. So there's like we kind of went off on a tech tangent for the moment here. So let me pull it back in for you guys. Okay, let me pull it back in.
Can I ask one question of Noelle first?
Yeah, of course, Carla.
What is the advantage that you find to use KV Core as well? What do you get from KV Core that you don't get from the other?
The IDX website, and we love their AI campaigns. So as you change someone from a new lead to, I think it's active lead, it completely automatically changes what gets sent to them, and I don't have to do anything. And then also the fact that I can see on the dashboard who is shopping for a home, who's searching for a home, what exactly are they looking at, and right from there I can email, text, or call them. And so I know right off the bat if I need to have a conversation and say, oh my gosh, they're looking at a different town, I think we need to change their custom search. Or, oh my gosh, this person hasn't been on our website in 6 months. You know what? We need to give them a call. So those are some things that we cannot do in high level at this point.
Yeah. So having that front facing website with the MLS search, that's what KV Core, that's one of KV Core's superpowers, right? And so
you can connect KV Core to high level pretty simply now, because I'm finishing up working on a connection with a developer, and it'll be able to pass a lot more information than what can be passed by a Zap.
Nice. I knew I loved you for a reason.
And I'm sorry, I'm hogging your webinar here, but
Noelle, I'm like thrilled. I'm thrilled about it. And then you and I need to talk too, because I'm sending you a snapshot, woman. We're just gonna, you and I are gonna, we're gonna partner up on some fun stuff.
And I have a fun bot survey / quiz.
Ooh.
And I can't, we need to talk.
Okay. So you guys, there's so much exciting stuff. So who here feels like after the end of this week, you are more equipped, more excited, and you've got far more tools to go out and start taking a lot more listings in 2022? Everybody come out with that.
I need a bigger brain. I can't hold it all. I got to go back.
So you guys remember when I said, just start focusing on one thing at a time. Okay. One thing at a time. So what I would recommend is go through each day, and out of that day, pull one main item. And then that's going to give you 5. I held up 2 hands and said 5. Okay. That's going to give you 5 main points, 1 per day, right? So you've got to prioritize. Now, can you really try to implement 5 things at once? No. So you're going to take your 5, and then out of those 5, you're going to choose 1 to focus on. And then when you've got a handle, you can come back to your other 4, right? And then once you've gotten through those, go back to all 5 days, pull out your next set of strategies or ideas that you want to implement and repeat the same process all over again. Pick your next top 5 and then narrow it down to the top 1 and then just go, go, go. And if you use Tamra's strategy of the tomato pomodoro, right?
Yeah.
I'm Italian and that's an Italian word and I struggle with it. That's just bad. And if you use Tamra's Pomodoro technique to do that, you're going to be able to get through this faster than you think. But here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to get so overwhelmed with everything that you've learned today that you seize up and then do nothing.
Yeah.
Or start just spiraling and bouncing between 18 ideas and then freaking yourself out, getting overwhelmed, throwing your hands in the air and going, I guess it doesn't work for me.
I have mine and it's about digital presence, but I might have to go share Tamra's desk for the next few weeks.
Perfect. That's and then
I will tell you right now, I did drop my email and phone number. So anyone that's out there, feel free to, if you just need to chit chat, you want to bounce something off, my phone is open.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Yep. And I think we both published, Tamra and I both put our phone and email in the group. We could drop it one more time.
So I saved this chat. Would it be helpful to put it in the what file was that in the group?
As soon as you upload it, you can actually go up and click on file and it'll say upload file and you can do it right from there instead of actually making a post, because Facebook will make the post for you as soon as you upload the file into the file section.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of, and then I'm going to answer a couple of questions. So Rob Wright was like drinking from a fire hose. I'm like, Rob, you know me, you know how I like to roll. and then Rob, you and I need to hook up. So if you haven't, like, call me and book a time. Seriously, man. And then Laura Newsom, thank you very much. Thank you so much. We really wanted to just pour out as much information as we could that would really help you grow your listing business in 2022. And then Jana asked, if we need everything, which one would you start with? Okay. I 100% agree with Michael. If you have to pick one thing to start with, you start with the one thing that is the most likely to get you a listing this week. Okay, it's Friday. Next week, unless you were like going to work over the weekend. So for you, you need to take a look and say, for me, what's the one thing that I feel would be the most likely to get me a listing in the next 7 days? So is it reaching out? Is it reaching out to your entire database that's already existing in your SOI for you, maybe with a dynamite where you take the next couple of days and you just like create your value proposition, or you do something really smart. You just go back and re-listen to Mike and Jay's and just use theirs. Just use it. Why recreate the wheel? Use theirs verbatim. Okay. And then
R&D.
And the R&D, guys, if you don't know, R&D, rip off and duplicate, baby. But I give credit for the people I rip off from. I do. Then maybe for you, that's your one thing that you're going to start with right now. I particularly was massively taken with picking a neighborhood, getting the numbers, and just doing the survey. Just do the survey, right?
Honestly, I think that's your quickest way to make money right now.
I do too. Now, I think every single human being on this call should be creating a YouTube channel. Now, here's what I don't want anybody to do. Don't run out there, drive yourself crazy, buy a course, because I've already bought 2. So we're going to do another one of these, crush it with YouTube. Okay. Where we'll walk you through setting up your channel. What kind of video should you do? Some scripts, some stuff. But here's what I will tell you. I want you to put it in your head that you're going to create a YouTube channel and you're going to do it. Put a deadline on it, right? That should be.
Go back to the planner. Put your deadlines.
I have one. It doesn't have any content to speak of.
And so then But hey, but you've got a channel, right? That's the first step.
On account of you.
There you go. Anybody else? Let's take a poll. Because what we think is great, but what do you guys think? So we're down to our last 27 people. You guys are like the freaking Navy SEALs. And so everybody feel free to unmute, type it in the chat. What do you feel out of everything you've learned this week is the one thing that you want to implement first?
I already said.
What was yours, Carla?
Digital presence.
Digital presence. So what does that mean? Because that's a little broad for me.
I know, but I'm going to start on Instagram, and I'm just going to start doing videos. I mean,
Videos. Okay. Now, do you remember what he said about going live? If you went live every single day, what was the one thing you need if you're going to start going live and doing videos? What was the one thing you need? Because I want you to be really successful with this. Do you remember?
No, tell me.
Call to action.
Call to action.
You must have a call to action, and they must have something that they can do. You need to tell them to do something. I grab my hair with my bobby pin and flung it because I'm fidgety. So I'm like fidgeting with my bobby pin. Rob Wright he's going to start doing surveys. So your call to action, Carla, could be if you're going to do live videos and you're in Instagram, your bio needs to be set up correctly with a link tree, and whatever the call to action is, they have to be able to access it through your bio link. Or the call to action is to drop a comment below, drop seller guide below to get my new seller guide.
And Linktree is $6 a month.
Well, it's free. They can use the free version.
Or you can do the free and
yeah.
I mean, either way.
Shit, I don't pay for Linktree.
I personalize it as $6 a month.
Yeah. But like, it's totally free. Like the free version works dynamite. Petra was asking, what is Linktree? I will do a video on Linktree.
Like right now.
Nice, Laura. That is so cool.
So let me scroll through here. So funnels, then videos, that was Blanca.
Well, Laura says, FYI, I know there are mixed feelings about it, but 2 days ago, I got on my Instagram story live and offered to do a free home valuation and already have done one and have a listing appointment for a high-end property.
Woo!
Oh, girl.
Man, and that's what happens, you guys, when you just take action. Take action. Laura, I'm with your permission, or like, I'm totally screenshotting that because that is freaking awesome, man. I'm so excited. Okay, so give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to save this. That is so powerful. You just take some action and you do it imperfectly, guys. Just go out there and make a mess. Do it. And so now we have a couple of questions here. What Linktree and then the Linktree free version. Okay. So guys, really quick, Linktree, it's 100% free. Go to I think it's link.tree.io or something. Just Google Linktree and it'll come up. I promise. It allows you to put a bunch of links in one place with one link. So in Instagram, your Instagram bio only allows you one link. And I see most agents totally screw it up royal. And they link to the homepage of their website, which nobody gives a damn about. And so what you do instead with Linktree is Linktree gives you one link that you can drop anywhere in your social media, anywhere in your Instagram bio. And then it opens up in this very nice, designed to be viewed on mobile list of different links that you're making available to people. And you can put a cute little icon and you can make it pretty little colors. You can make it look very professional, very fly. And then you can drive people to different offers by using just one link. So for instance, if you said, hey, grab a copy of my brand new hot off the presses home staging checklist, which you guys got through this course that you can customize. You say, go, the link is in my bio. And let's say you're advertising this on your Instagram story, or even better, in Instagram stories, you can put a link in your story. You put in your Linktree link. And then when they click that link, it opens up and you could have a number of different links in there. So one would be download my staging guide. And then one would be, and by the way, if you're like, how, once you create your guide, go load it in your Google Drive with a shareable link set to anyone with this link can view. And then you can instantly send stuff via a link instead of sending it as a clunky ass PDF download. Okay. So, and I'll do some YouTube videos on this, you guys, seriously. So I need to get back in the groove of making my videos anyway. So then your next link could be like, download my free home 5 hacks to sell a home for more money. And your third link could be get my new construction guide. And the next one could be search for all Utah homes here. Search for all California homes here, like your area. Search for all LA homes here, right? So obviously there's not a MLS for the whole state of California. You guys get what I'm saying? You could have find out what your home is worth, click here. And that one would drive to your home evaluation page on your website. So now you're no longer taking them to your home page. You're taking them to the exact page on your website where they want to land. If you've got a link that says search for every, Salt Lake County, or I would call it Wasatch Front, Utah, whatever home here, I'm going to take them directly into the most advanced home search landing page on my website, right? I'm not going to make them find it 3 clicks in. They'll probably give up and leave the page. I'm going to take them right where they need to go. So that's how you can leverage Linktree. Okay, if I give everybody one homework assignment today, every agent who does not have a strategy for doing links needs to go sign up for Linktree. And at the very least, here's what you could put on your Linktree. You could put a link to your Facebook account, your YouTube account, your LinkedIn account. You could put, if you've got a website, you could put a link to, now don't link them to your homepage. Damn it. If I check your Linktree, I'm going to get mad. Okay. You're going to have 2 links to your IDX MLS website. One link will be into the search page, and the second link will be into the home evaluation page directly. Okay. If you have any free content, who here has free content now? Well, I know you all have at least 2 pieces of free content because we gave you a 5 hacks to sell your home for more money. And we gave you a home staging guide. So customize those, open the template, customize them to your business, and then go put them in your Google Drive, right? Assign them a shareable link. We're going to have to do videos on these. We're going to do videos on these. Okay, guys, but it's going to take me a hot minute to record all these videos, right? Because then I got to edit them. And so you guys can do this without the video, but I will do videos for you. Okay. Then you're going to create a shareable link for that. And you're going to go put it in your brand new Linktree account. Okay. Then when you are doing your digital marketing, you can make a call to action right to your stuff. When you're on the phone with people, if you're going to make your calls to do the survey, you're going to have items of value that you can send them also. Okay. So pretty freaking exciting stuff, man.
Well,
Man,
in your surveys, just as, and you may already even know this. And so it may be just useless repeat, but take any of the qualification questions and move those into questions that you put on your home ownership survey.
Yes.
So smart. And the survey would be great in a chatbot.
Oh,
that's what.
Oh yeah.
That's so great. So then one more time, guys. And when we're on replay, I don't think it shows the chat when we do the replay.
It doesn't, but if they do right before you shut down, if they click down where the chat is and there's a little file box, they can download the chat right there.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you could do that.
Keep it.
You learn something every day. So guys, here for those who are catching it on the replay, where I'm like, click the link in the chat. You're like, what link, woman? Okay, so it's real easy. I built it. So guys, you're like, what's a funnel or what's a sales page? Okay, I built this one last night in like 10 minutes. Okay, and I connected it to my little calendar, right? It's called bookwithbella.com. Bookwithbella.com. And guys, it's gonna schedule. It's already set out for a 60-minute meeting where we can chat. Again, no arm twisting, but we'll chat about how you can get everything plus 100 times more. Like, seriously partner with every one of us that you've had a chance to learn from on this entire thing for 100% free for the rest of your career. Free. You can get all of Jay and Mike's training free, all of our training free, like so much stuff. It's crazy. Help, fun, all that. Or if you just have some questions about how to use this stuff and you're like, well, Petra was like, wow, yes, thank you, Petra. Seriously. And Petra knows, right? Because I used to do a lot of training, guys, and I couldn't do it for free. Like I couldn't afford to. I had to sell my training. Right now, I give it all away for free to anybody that would like to partner with me. Now,
I bought it. No regrets.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's Carla. And so Agent Lead Academy, right?
Yep.
So, and guys, there's so much more we can go into detail with you on if you want us to, right? It's just so, and it's so fun. Now, even if you would like to book a call with me, but you just want to talk, you're like, Bella, love you. I don't want to partner with you. Please don't take it personally, but I'd love to talk with you. I'm interested in maybe getting that platform. Still go ahead. Feel free to book a call with me for the same thing. Okay. I'm happy to talk to you about it. I can get you guys the best deal out there. Full disclosure, I am an affiliate, but that's all. Like, I'm not selling a course. I'm not selling coaching. I just have an affiliate link, but you can only get my funnels and my websites and all of my stuff that I've built if you use my link. They're just connected. Okay. And I think, I don't know for sure, but I think my link has the best deal, which is a full month for free. So you can scope it out and you're not out a bunch of money. You're like, it's not my cup of tea, right? So you can book a call with me for that too. And then when you go into my calendar, it's going to say, hey, like, watch all 5 videos and don't stand me up. Because if you stand me up, I'll never let you book with me again. Like,
thank you, Jenna.
It's really strong. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. 1, don't stand me up because that just hurts my feelings. And 2, if you're calling about just software stuff, you don't have to watch the videos. If you can't watch all 5, it's okay. Guys, we spent 5 days together. This calendar was built for people who've never met me. They found me on social media, and I can't afford to have them waste 5 hours of my day learning shit that they should watch videos about before they get on the phone with me, right? That's the reason for that. Nevertheless, the very, very first video in the lineup, it's called The Model Explained. I would recommend everybody just watch it. It's super short. It's 30 minutes, and then we jump on a call. And if you have any questions about it, I can answer them for you. And so any other thing, you guys, because it's our last day. So we're here to just answer questions, like open field, ask us anything you want.
Can I just make a comment?
Yeah.
So I'm new to EXP, and who you pick as a sponsor is huge. So, we all love Bella and Tamra, and all I can say is I didn't know Bella was with EXP. So I thought I feel
like this, Marie. I'm so mad at myself for not being more vocal about it.
Yeah, well, I
didn't want people to feel like I was being pushy, and then I shot myself in the head.
No, I ended up going under somebody who does a lot of YouTube, and when I spoke with him, and what he wrote is not what I'm getting. And it,
Oh,
and I'm at the point
Oh,
where I'm
that's
like,
too
do
bad.
I leave for 4 months? Anyway, you'll go into that
Aw,
with people
well-
who contact you, but all I can say is, not all sponsors are created equal. And it, you know, Bella and Tamra have been so fabulous. If I had to do it all over again, there wouldn't even be a question. So take it
Aw,
from me.
Marie,
Oh, thank
thank
you.
you. Well, you know what, girl? You know that we got your back because you're Agent Lead Academy, honey.
I am. Yeah.
So that's so you know what? You are welcome to plug into everything that we do. So I don't want you to feel like you're out in the cold. Truly, you can
You
plug
guys are going to make me cry.
seriously, like, and oh guys, Tamara and I decided we're doing the role play group, the online role play group. We're hoping to have hundreds of agents from all over the country. And we'll do a training and then bam, we'll throw everybody in breakout groups. So you get to like train with different people.
It's definitely going to be fun because each week's going to be a new twist. That, I mean, we're not boring, so we're not going to make the trainings and role play boring.
Yeah, nobody has
Super
boring role play
excited.
with me either. Like seriously, we have a great time. So Marie, oh sweetheart, don't you worry.
I'm
You just-
sorry.
no, you stay plugged in with us. Seriously.
I have tried, and I feel like I should get an A+ for effort, and I keep running into these walls. But anyway, I don't want to take up any more time. I just
No,
wanted
you're
to
in
I'm
tell the
right
group.
there with you.
people-
We can get through it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
So thank
I
you.
was the queen of call reluctance in my career. I was in business 5 years before I ever picked up that phone and did cold calls.
Oh, well, I got you beat by a lot, but yeah, I got into it, helped my husband with his construction listings, and it's just been him and my SOI. So I'm
Well,
like,
see, I was an appraiser before I was an agent. So I came from the side where I just got the call, go here, do this. Okay, great. And then I decide, well, I don't want to necessarily do appraisals anymore. So I want to become an agent. Well, damn, now I have to pick up the phone and I have to call people that I would normally hang up on if they were calling my house.
So
That was the mindset that I went in with. And it took some time for it to change.
and guys, for whatever reason, if we've got anybody that's really hesitant to call, okay, let me tell you, I've been on both sides of the extreme, okay, where I did nothing but cold call for sale by owners for like 10 years of my career. And I was really good at it. Okay. And then I got so burned out, I refused. Like, I was like, I will never call somebody again. Like, bah! And then all I did was online stuff.
Yep.
And then I got that out of my system. It was like a pendulum reaction to the burnout of calling. Right. And now I feel like I finally settled into this happy medium. Like, you know, when you grab a pendulum and it just goes, woo, woo, right? Now I'm kind of like in this happy center place. And I'm like, you got to make some calls, because I hate to break it to you, but no matter how you find the lead, sooner or later, you have to talk to that person. Right. So no matter how you find the lead, it doesn't really matter. Right. It will all resolve with a conversation in the end. And so I just feel like there's this really sweet spot in the middle where you get good at running systems for your business so that you can leverage technology appropriately. So you stop working so hard where you don't need to work that hard, right? And then you start building your skills one little tiny skill at a time. Ladies, I don't see any guys, but I can only see the front six. So guys, gentlemen, cut yourself some slack and just say, if I get 1% better today, 1%, that's it. 1% better a day, you're 365% better over a year. It seems like nothing in the day, but over the course of a year, you're going to look back and go, I can't even believe where I started from looking back. I promise you, because that's how I did it. You guys, so not all of you know my story. I was terrified of technology. I did not use a CRM for my entire career. I didn't know, I wouldn't even use a spreadsheet, you guys. I was so old school. I had a 3-ring folder with like hole punched paper in there with like my clients' names, and my follow-up was I wrote down, called them. You know, I hated social media. I didn't know how to run ads. I was an absolute train wreck with tech. When I first set up my Facebook business,
now she's a nerd.
yeah, Tamra remembers because we went on this journey together, right? And then when I set up my first Facebook business account, like I couldn't, like I didn't get it. Like it's separate from your personal profile, and I couldn't like tell them apart. And I like burst into tears, and my husband had to come calm me down because it was that hard for me, guys. So if any of you are yes. So if any of you,
100%.
that's it. That's it. So I have got girl, and you know, I keep talking. This is Beverly. She's one. You guys, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I had a handful. Letty.
Well, I'm going to be on your team pretty soon. That's my plan.
There you go. Beverly, Letty, Dana, Emmy Azawa, and Dale Hong. I had 5 friends growing up, but you know what, you guys? Like I'd hide a body for all 5 of them.
Heck yeah.
If you're willing to hide a body, you can't afford to have like 20 friends. It just gets too risky. So I promise you, I know exactly what it feels like to feel utterly, completely incapable, not enough, not smart enough, not like, it's just my brain's not wired for it. I have cried. I have swore. I have broken stuff because I threw stuff across my office in a blind rage when I couldn't get it to work.
Wait, you sure?
I've like, Carla's like,
are we related?
All my Agent Lead Academy people know, right? An hour into live, me working in the live Facebook profile platform, I'm like, this MF and but Facebook and Call of Duty bring out the F word in me. It's so word of warning. I don't know what it is about those 2 platforms, but like the minute I'm like, what this effing damn,
Well, and a list of other things.
And so, but it is funny. I promise you, it is entertaining. And I am actually consciously trying to curb that habit a little bit.
One thing also that I'll throw in is don't take yourself so seriously.
Oh, totally.
Because you will burn out so fast and you'll end up resenting your business. You just have to go in. If you screw up, oh well.
Yeah.
If you say the wrong thing, oh well. And you be like me and you stuttered on that phone and you had this shake in your voice, oh well. You go on to the next one. Just don't take yourself so seriously.
Totally. Totally.
I have a question.
Yeah, Joan. I love your hair, by the way. I love that color.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I had that color for many years.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anyone that can sit with us and train us on how to do that, no matter how many millions we'd have to pay them?
Yes. Yes. Now I have a couple. Okay. Now I've got one. He's amazing. He's amazing, you guys, but he's expensive. Okay. He charges what he's worth. So I don't recommend him right out of the gate to everybody. Okay. This would be for people with money where they've got time, and they've got money, both, and their time is far more valuable. And they're like, I'm not learning that crap. I'm just hiring that out. Okay. He's like a super freak, you guys. He worked for Microsoft for years. So you want to hear who he wrote automations for and managed? Nike, McDonald's, the US Army, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force. He was in charge of those accounts for Microsoft when he worked for Microsoft for like 6 years. And then
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. But like I said, he's not cheap. Okay. I typically don't have the time to like do that kind of work done for you. But here's what I will do. If we've got enough people that want to start leveraging a little more technology, I will do 1 day a week free, like Agent Lead Academy was. You guys remember how remember Agent Lead Academy Fridays at 1, and we were on the phone until 4 every freaking Friday because we were doing so much live hands-on training for everybody. I will put that back in my schedule. And here's my promise to you. You can come to that call every single Friday, and we do it in a Zoom meeting. People queue up. If we have a lot of people, then we'll make a list, like the first people to get on the list for that Friday are the ones we help. And I do a screen share. We get in and we work on your stuff. And if you guys don't know this about Zoom, I can get into your computer. So like, Carla, how many times was I like, you're typing slow, let me in there. Like, it's going to take all damn day.
Yeah.
And so I will actually hands-on help you guys build out the systems you need. But I also have a hell of a lot that are already built. Like I've got minimum 20 already built funnels for lead acquisition in real estate for both sellers and buyers. Now, guys, it's a lot. There's a lot that comes with it, right? So you're like, well, how am I going to get people into that funnel? Well, then now you're like, okay, now I need to dial up my social media. What platform am I going to use to drive leads? Or am I going to use YouTube? So this is, you guys like,
breathe.
Breath, because this is not a marathon. It's an ultra. Do you guys know what an ultra is?
Yes.
I was blown away that Michael runs ultras. I thought he looked skinny.
Yes, he is. He's a lot smaller than he was, for
Yeah.
sure.
So ultras are like where you go run 100 miles, you know, like they're crazy. This is an ultra. You guys, how long do you want to be in business? How many years do you want to be in business? You get 1% better every day. You stick with me. I promise you, in a year, you won't recognize yourself. In 5 years, you'll be free in 5. Tamra and I think have a little thing. Hers is like free in 3. And I did free in 5. And I'm like, so, and hers rhymes. And then it made me sad. I didn't think of it. But here is what I promise you. I promise you this. You partner with us and you will be free in 5 years. If you just follow along and do what we help you to do. So Blanca says, what do I mean by free? I mean, Blanca, you only sell and you only work real estate sales if you want to at that point, because you have now earned enough money that you can retire. And part of that money is passive streams of income in addition to your real estate sales. And so that's what we would, Petra, absolutely. So that, you guys, I'm going to put the link in here one more time. If you're catching this on the replay and you're not seeing the chat, the link is really simple. It's
bookwithbella.com.
Bookwithbella.com. I built this last night. I made it all cute. Guys, I'm trying to do the gentler version of me. So it's pink. It's kind of pink and blue, like my back wall. And so like those two colors back there. So, you know, but I got a little black in there just to keep it real. Okay. Judy was saying she has to log off. Judy, totally. Thank you so much. Get in the group, Judy, hit us up. Guys, you can go in the Facebook group and ask Tamra and I questions. All you have to do is tag our name in the comment and it'll notify us as admins that you've got a question for us.
And my notifications are on the group. So anytime you happen to need something answered, can't find something, I'll look at, someone said the script book was messed up. I'll go in and get that straightened out so that it comes through like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we're about to pump up that script book too.
Oh, by the way, you owe an apology to the at least 4 guys that are still here.
I'm so sorry, gentlemen. Oh, and Lisa asked the 5 videos.
You know you have Miko.
So to answer the question about the 5 videos, when you book a call with me, it's going to take you to a thank you page. And on that thank you page, if you just scroll down, you'll see all 5 videos in there. I lined them all up in there really nice and neat. And guys, I built that 2-page thing that you're going to see. I built that in like, well, okay. I've got this thing that I will not exaggerate, and I just tell the truth. It's really painful. Okay. So Marv built it in 10 minutes last night.
Marv is who you were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and guys, let me tell you something else that you get with, like, if anybody that wants to try high level. Now, I'm not telling you to go get high level. Bloody hell, I'm not telling you to do that. But I know I have some people in here that are in that spot. If you just go to high level and sign up, they have no tech support. Dude, no tech support. You have to just watch videos and figure that shit out. You sign up with me, we have live tech support. Dude, I was on at 10 o'clock at night. When our emails kept not going through to people, and I was like, I can't figure out what's happening. And 10 o'clock at night, awesome guy. I know Jeremy and Melissa, they're like my best friends. That's tech support. They just jump in there, found the problem, fixed it. He went in and like fixed my broken ass workflow. He was like, you had one little glitch in here, Bella. And I'm like, okay, can you tell me how to fix it? He's like, I did it for you. So I can't, that alone, just having tech support alone is a make it or break it deal. If you guys have never had to try and learn a new system that had anything to do with technology, and all you could do is send emails back and forth, and it takes like 1 to 2 days to get a response. Oh my God. So frustrating. So frustrating.
It reminds me of back in the Facebook ad days when you was just like a blurb on their radar once in a blue moon.
Oh my gosh. Seriously. And I have got you guys, like, when we talk about the training that I will do with you, if you guys want, I've got so much I will give you if you just want it, right? I built an entire Facebook ads course that I used to sell. And now would I give you the course? Sure. I give you the course for free. It's 190 videos. It's like getting a PhD. I'm going to revamp it and make it much smaller now, but it's a little bit outdated because Facebook changes so fast. But seriously, we will show you how to run ads. We'll help you with lead acquisition. We'll help you with your automation. We'll help you with your scripts and your role play. We'll help you with your business plans, with time management. And my personal favorite after leveraging technology, because I got so burned out doing the old school way, my second close, near, dear passion of my heart is communication and negotiation. Like, that's my, oh boy. So if you guys want to up your game there, right? There's just so much that we would love to share with you. And here's the thing. And I mean, this is it, right? This is just, you guys, I hope you know, it's just kind of coming from the heart, right? You'd have the opportunity to partner with us, get everything that we know, everything Jay has, everything Michael has, everything Fred and Kevin has, everything Curtis has, and you don't even know. That's the tip of the iceberg. That's like next. That's such a tiny fraction of all the stuff that you get, you guys. And we will never charge you a penny for it. We will never ask for a dime of your commissions. Nothing ever. All we are here to do is link arms with you and help you succeed at the highest level that you want to succeed at in your real estate business. And as a little cherry on top, we're going to also help you in your spare time put together some extra income coming in completely in the background, just passively, just a little residual, so that you can retire one day, right? Who would like to retire one day?
Oh, yes.
What's the joke, right? Like for some of us, it ain't no joke. Like for me, for Tamra, for Judy, it's no joke.
No.
Like, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to expire. And that shit's not funny.
Nope. I'm free in 3, baby.
And now we're like, instead it's free in 3, or I did free in 5. Tamra, I think I'm going to have to change it. Should it be free in 3?
It rhymes.
It does. Okay. It's free in 5. It's free in 5, guys. So, or free in 3. I'm going to have to change it. I've been saying free in 5 for so long. I figured I'd give everybody 2 years to spare just to like get your real estate, just get going. And then you're like, okay, Bella, I'll do that other stuff too. But
I like that the fact that even after 3, it's not necessarily over. The growth spurt changes. I'm growing differently at that point in time.
yes, absolutely. And Blanca, because you're on a work computer, yes. So what I'll do is I'm going to put my booking link in the Facebook group, and then I'm going to print out, I'll make sure that I keep this chat too, because I want to reach out to everybody. And so that's it, you guys. We would love to work with you more. We want to see everybody succeed at the highest possible level in their real estate business. I deeply believe that you need to be a listing agent.
Yeah.
I love buyer's agents. I love them, but my God, you cannot control your time.
But since we have 20 still on here, I have a challenge for all of you.
Woohoo!
I want to see each and every one of you give us your 3 actions that you're going to take in the next 30 days by going live in the group.
Oh,
Agents don't live in fear, because if we live in fear, we make no money. So I want to see y'all go live.
okay. And it's a safe place to go live. If you
I have a stupid question.
yeah.
There's no stupid questions.
What do you mean go live in the group?
Okay, if you was going to make a post
Yeah.
in the group, and then when you click on there, like you're going to make a post,
Okay.
then it says you'll have a little right below that. Instead of making the post, it'll say go live.
Can you share your screen really quick, Tamra, and show her?
You bet.
Yeah.
Where it says live
Let us
video?
show you. We'll show you how to do it. And actually, it is a little confusing. Like Facebook keeps making
well,
it.
they changed it. They changed it,
Now
and
you have to select webcam, and you have to like.
yeah,
Well, there's a red button that says live video. Is that it?
that's it.
That is. You know what, Tamra? Let's have you go live in the group, and while you're sharing your screen, so you can show them from start to finish how to do it.
You bet.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can you, where did that go? Okay, 1 second. My computer decided to be a jerk. All right, there we're at. There we go. I'm like, what?
It's 'cause- you know why? Take a note, ladies and gentlemen. It's because she's going live. And so anything that can like glitch out when you're live will. Hell, you guys, oh my God. Like stuff I've done going live. I dropped my phone off the roof of Century 21.
Oh my
going
God.
live on my phone.
I remember that.
Yeah, I actually lunged over the rail to catch it. You guys almost got like a snuff film of me falling to my death.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just getting into the group. Can everybody see the white screen?
Yes.
As it's like trying to make a move. There we go. All right. Here I am here, and it says live video. And just so everybody is aware, Zoom lags when you get in here and try doing something that they don't necessarily want you to do at that point in time.
It just takes
Okay.
a lot of bandwidth.
It does. It does. So here we have go live or create a live video event. I'm not creating a live video event at this point in time. So over here, I'm going to create a go live.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone streams here, so it it overloads it. And that we don't need at this point in time. So, okay, here it says select your video source, webcam or streaming software. Okay, if I was using, say, StreamYard or Be Live, I was going to actually broadcast, then I would choose a streaming software. since I'm just going live in our group, I would choose webcam.
And guys, all you need to choose for the next month or two is webcam. Do not get sidetracked on all that techie crap. It is most of the time you don't need it, and it's a money suck and it's a brain drain. So keep it simple.
Well, and
speak
you
from
have to
experience.
remember that Facebook will, for whatever reason, will try to, get you to spend money. You don't have to. Okay. So we're selecting our media source. It should already be set up here, but I will show you because I'm on the same computer that I was. Oh, why does it keep doing that? All right. If you notice over here, it will take now Facebook asks 3 questions. Do you see these, Bella? These are all new.
Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't there last night.
This is all brand new. Okay, when you go over here, it will connect a video source. Okay, my video source has already been detected. 1 second, I have to move my, so I can see. It will not go live until these settings are done. I noticed it this morning when I was going through. It just won't allow you. So here it's trying to access my camera. I believe it's because it's going through Zoom. It's not allowing me to go live here.
Oh, okay.
I have to.
The camera is already being used by Zoom.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have to stream because I'm already using my camera. But otherwise, you would just go live on your webcam.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the one last thing, Donna, it'll ask you that it'll have a little box that says like, what's your live video about? And you'll put in a little title.
Well, right over here, it'll ask you, it says add post details. It's right next to it here. And you can put it's kind of like your subject line of an email where you have at the top, it's a subject and then it gives a description, which would be like the body of your email.
Yes.
You just, kind of name whatever it is that your video is, and then you can give a description below that. But that's how that works.
Okay.
And then once you do all these 3 things, then you come down here to the bottom, right here where my asterisk or where my little icon is, and it'll say go live. This will actually light up where you see this little red circle down here at the bottom now. At the bottom, what's the
Bottom
left side of
left.
the screen? Do you see it?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, once you get those 3 the 3 items above where my name is, once you get those done, you'll just click that button and you will go live.
Okay.
And it's almost easier from your phone, I swear.
It is easier from your phone. The phone go live is so much easier.
Okay.
And so, and it's just exactly what it sounds like. You're now streaming live in that group. And Donna, I promise you, as much as the level of discomfort initially, but if you were, especially because I know you with the level of experience and knowledge that you have, and the number of people who already know, like, trust, and respect you, if you went live, let's just say you made a decision, I'm going to go live once a day, every day, Monday through Friday, give yourself the weekend off for the next 30 days, right? Or maybe you do one on the weekend, and that's you got to do one with your cute dog and your hubby, like, right?
Oh, okay.
And all you did on each live now, and here's the beauty, 60 seconds is a great length. It doesn't take much to come up with some awesome little tip that you only have to do for 60 seconds. And if here's what you did, Donna, is you took a question a day that a buyer or a seller has asked you, and you answer it via a live. And depending on if you want more seller business, answer more seller questions. Say, this is a week I'm going to answer seller questions all this week because it's a crazy market and I'm getting asked questions constantly by my clients. So I thought I would do this as a fun little service. here we go. Day one is bam. And you're going to answer a question that you typically get asked by sellers. You're going to answer it by doing a live. Pick whatever platform you like the most. So if it's Instagram, do it on Instagram. If it's Facebook, do it on Facebook.
Okay.
And then the one thing I want you to make sure that you do is make sure that after each one, you have a call to action. You're telling them to go do something. Even if it's to maybe one day the action is simply please like this post to let me know that this was useful for you, right?
Tamra, you live.
Yeah, I went from my phone.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I
And
went from my
then-
phone. It's so much more simpler than going from the laptop.
Is
Because
it
you
okay?
just click go live.
Yeah, it's so easy. And then Donna, on some of your call to actions, I want you to have real call to actions for lead generation. Like this one got me 2 listings. I went live on Facebook and I did it as an example for my Agent Lead Academy because I created the staging guide way back in the day for my old course. And I said, okay, here's an example of how you can use it. And I went live and I said, I'm going to share with you the #1 staging trick that 99% of homeowners miss, and it costs them $5,000 to $10,000 every time. People are like, what the hell is that? Like, I want to know that. And I'm like, change your furnace filter.
Right.
Okay, can I just tell you something that's funny? You bring up the furnace filter.
That's true.
Okay.
Because then it's filthy, and then the buyer gets scared, and the home inspector says, you better call an HVAC guy, get him in here. And then they're like, oh, this is old. You need a new furnace.
Yep. True.
And one funny thing about furnace filters, you know how you know when yours is needs to be changed?
How?
At least this works in my house. Is when I have so much static in my hair that I can't control it. Seriously.
Really?
As soon as I change it, I can go down and I know that it's full.
That's
Wow.
hilarious.
That
Is so funny. I change mine every month now because I froze up my AC.
I just told Darren the other day, I'm like, I walk in there and I'm like, my hair's all, and I'm like, you need to change the furnace filter.
That is crazy. How funny.
That is so funny.
I like that though. That's a good idea. That might be what I do on my first one.
See, and then what you tell them is, want to get all my other staging secrets and my home stage checklist, drop the word checklist in the comments below and I'll send it to you, or DM me. And then that's how you, and then you mix them up. And then here's what I'll say. So let's just say you're going to do 5 lives a week, and let's do 3. I tend to lean more towards business. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say it's up to you. You could either do 3 business, 2 personal, or 3 personal and 2 business, but you got to mix just some fun lives in there that are just about you. Like, oh my God, your cute husband and your cute grandkids and your sweet dog. Oh my gosh, you'll get such a following. You'll get a better following off your dog than probably all your business stuff.
True.
And so, because people want to also see you, just you know what I mean? So
Right. We're human.
that's it.
Yeah. And even like, you just don't even watch your videos. If you watch them right afterwards, you're going to be going, delete. Just don't
do
watch
it.
them. Go live and leave them there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
everyone's
be brave.
human.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? They don't have to, because honestly, no one cares that you have a hair out of place. Your makeup's not right. They don't like your outfit, whatever. It doesn't matter. The only
Right.
one that matters to is you. You're the only one that's self-conscious about what you look like on camera.
Well, and one of my best lives, this was years ago on Facebook. I was like, this is ridiculous. I've got to go live so people can see. And it was like my behind the scenes. And this is, you guys, this is what I do every single morning. Okay. So I'm wearing a pair of like ratty old sweatpants and a tank top. and I'm sitting cross-legged on my bathroom counter. And I have my makeup bag like sitting on my knee. I have my laptop in my lap, my iPod.
You were sitting almost in the sink.
Yes, I'm listening to an ebook and I'm drying my hair and I'm propping the hair dryer like this and I'm typing, listening. And then like with this other hand, I managed to be like, can you believe this is my damn morning routine? I do this every morning. And people were just dying.
Oh, that's fun.
It like got the best engagement ever. And people were like, that is ridiculous. I'm like, this is what I do every day.
I think that comes back to what Curtis was saying, in his video in regards to just being yourself and showing people what you believe. Well, if you believe that, I've got to take and get all of these things done, I'm actively doing it. So it shows that you're motivated and driven. If you've got, 50 million things going on and you're sitting in your bathroom sink, it just shows that Belladonna is very driven.
Yes.
Well, and it shows it takes a hot minute to dry my hair. So I like to listen to ebooks.
Yeah.
That's like drying my hair is my university time.
Do you have to start?
That's the nice thing about it is it lets people get to know you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what were you going to say, Donna?
I was going to say, do you have to do that every morning or are there mornings you just just scrunch it or?
Yeah, I skip every other day. And if I'm really behind, I'll go like 3 days, but I start getting, like dreadlocks.
Or she gets too busy and you know when she's too busy because it goes up.
Oh,
when I show up with this hairstyle,
when it's
she's got too much to do.
I got too much to do or I slept in. And then I'm like, that's it. No vanity. Vanity's out the window. I
Some
don't have
days
time
it
to do
just
my
doesn't
hair.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah. You just throw it up and I call it like my wind tunnel because like I could go through a Cat 5 hurricane and I'll come out, my hair will be just like this. Like my indestructible hairstyle.
You have beautiful hair though. You really do.
Thank you very much. So I'll tell you guys a stupid funny story. So for a huge portion of the time, I was so busy as a listing agent. And a lot of times also because it's not the most professional look when my hair's down. And I lived in pinstripe suits. I only had suits in 3 colors, jet black, like charcoal gray and navy blue.
Me too.
That's it. I wore suits. My hair was always up, always up. I always had a thing in my ear for my Bluetooth. And I drove a BMW with blacked out windows. And I always picked my daughter up from school, like every day, right? And but from elementary all through middle school. And she's like in 8th grade. And she turns around, I see her talking with somebody like, and I'm like, what was that? And she goes, God, Mom. She goes, what? She goes, everybody thinks you're in like the CIA or the FBI. They're so scared of you. And she said, my mom's not FBI. She's a real estate agent. Because they just saw the suit and the severe hair and the Bluetooth and the black windows.
Yeah, black car.
Funny.
That's funny.
So I had like cool school credit that I didn't deserve.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I used to wear suits every day too, but I don't anymore.
No, I gave it up.
Me too.
I'm done. Like I'm wearing a dress shirt today, like one of my old button-up shirts. But I've got like, can you see? They're blue jeans on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I loosened up.
I think we all had to.
Yeah.
After all this time in the business, if not, we wouldn't be here.
No. And
really.
You'd just be a stiff, and no one wants one of those.
No.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
My only thing I will say, ladies, for my ladies on the call, so when I managed C21, all the managers except me were men and the owners were men. And they'd be like, Belladonna, could you please do like a training on how to dress for success for women in real estate? And I'm like, why, you scared? And they're like, we don't dare tell them, but for the love of God, quit flashing all your goods.
Right?
Yes.
But
I see that more with like some of the younger, the younger generation. And yeah, it's like, I only dreamed that I woke up with a body like hers. That's just never ever going to happen. But, you know, I'm not getting a listing like that.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm like, that wife doesn't trust you because of all that. There's no way you're going to have to be working with
That's
those people.
right.
That was
Hey,
my
exactly.
thing.
Yep.
If the,
You
if the
cannot
wife,
you cannot dress too much better than the wife.
That's right.
Never.
Otherwise, she will
Kinda
never
like
allow her husband to speak to you, and it'll be she won't trust you.
yeah, and
And
certainly
no matter what, you cannot have that cleavage showing.
cleavage
all.
or short skirts or too tight
Yeah.
or just too sexy. And I'm like, so I used to tell them, I'm like, ladies, hey, no judgment, but they need to know what you're selling.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying.
Well, just like a male hairdresser will do 10 times a better job than any female, because no female wants you to look better than them.
Yeah, see, it's like, come on now. It's
But
so
that's true. I go to males and males only.
there you go. So it's I don't know how we got on that tangent. We were like relaxing, but yeah,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
so I relaxed it down a little. But again, I came from an office where they were really strict on their dress code. Like the guys had to shave and everybody was in a suit and it was cool. And I actually like suits, but I'm just something broke in my head at 50.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm done.
just done with all that. Yep.
Yeah.
Agree.
My husband started wearing fedora hats about 2 years ago, and it made
fedoras.
Oh, and he looks awesome in them. You know, he's got them. He even has one for St. Patrick's Day, but the summer is straw, winter is wool. He's looking for a leather one right now.
Oh my gosh, Indiana Jones.
Exactly. He's like a cross between Indy and MacGyver. But
that's hilarious. Does he have a satchel? Does he have a leather satchel? He brings his listing material in.
He does.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But anyway, it made people come up and talk to him because they loved his hat.
Oh,
and
see?
so he had a ton of conversations. He has a ton of conversations with people because of that hat. So
there you go. You got to be you at the end of the day. You just got to be you, whatever you is there. And then I'll end with one last great story, but he's a gentleman that he's actually one of our business partners. His name's Brent Gove. And it's actually his video is the first video in that lineup for you guys. The nicest man you've ever met in your whole life, gigantic top producer, right? And he had a guy on his team who had been a prison guard and then quit being a prison guard to become a real estate agent. He's in his 40s. He was bald and he was covered in tattoos, like all down the backs of his hands. And so he'd wear a suit and he'd keep his hands in his pants pocket. And for as long as humanly possible when he'd meet clients for the first time, because he was so worried that they would see the tattoos on his hands and then judge him and not want to work with him. And he actually did really good his first 2 years. I mean, the guy was a hard worker and he sold like, I don't know, 30 or 40 homes his first year in, did it again his second year. But he was really anxious all the time and he was quite unhappy. And because he just felt like who he was something that he had to constantly hide. And then one day he just had enough. He was like, I can't keep doing this. So his new uniform went from being a suit to being a pair of like jeans and a black t-shirt and black boots, and all his tattoos showed and his bald head, and he looked a little menacing, you know what I mean? Even though he was a good guy, he was a prison guard, not an inmate. Miraculously, he doubled his business.
Because he was himself.
He was himself and
Yeah.
he was relaxed and comfortable and authentic. And the people that liked who he was liked him 10 times as much. And the people for whom they're like, no way, that is not my guy. They never bothered him. And so it's like an automatic filter to start working with the kinds of people that you want to work with yourself. And that's also the beauty of going live and just being natural and authentic on there. Just be yourself. Because then people will really start to get to know you and they'll either really like you or they'll decide you're not their cup of tea. Guys, let me tell you something. Oh, no surprise. People either usually love me or hate me. I don't spawn a lot of middle ground.
Middle ground.
Okay. And so it's a good thing, right?
Well, it's like the other night I told Bella, I'm like, I'll go live and I'll go live in the group. Well, we had company that came over and it was getting later and later. And I'm like, oh crap, I'd gone in and I'd already taken a shower. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to do a live. So that's why the other night I did a live in my sweatshirt and wet hair.
Yeah.
Because I was straight out of the shower. And so I was like, well, I got to get in there and do the live. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Did you all go, oh, she just got out of the shower?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Who cares?
Today.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and that's the thing. Nobody really cares. It's more how we perceive what they're going to think.
Right.
So, well, this has been an absolute honor, you guys. We went super long today just because it's day 5 and we're a little sad that it's all over.
No,
But
it was great though. It's very good.
Stay in the group. Thank you very much, Donna. Stay in the group. We're going to be dropping tons of content in the group. We're going to be going live in there regularly. We're actually going to be dicing up these videos and pulling out like the really salient little cool parts. We're going to be dropping those in there for you. And the group will be the first place that you guys will hear. I can tell you, mark it on your calendar, March the 2nd. Now, for my people that aren't in Utah, we're going to try and figure out how to stream it. But March the 2nd, we are doing another Crush It with Reels panel. And this one's going to be down at the Board of Realtors. So we've got the big room at the Board of Realtors. That one's going to be fun. In either June or July, we're going to be doing a builders panel.
Okay. You just said March 2nd.
Oh,
Is
March,
that
May 2nd. Sorry, May 2nd. No, not March 2nd. May, forgive me.
Okay.
May
I'm like,
2nd.
we're doing that next week. I'm like, I'm not even prepared.
No, May 2nd, May 2nd.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking if we don't have an aneurysm first, we're going to do another challenge probably in April. And we don't even know what the topic is. So we're taking requests. What do you want to challenge on? You want it on video? You want it on something specific like YouTube? Do you want it on running paid traffic? Do you like, we should do a poll in the group. What would people like to do a challenge on?
YouTube.
Ooh, I got one for YouTube. Woo,
YouTube.
YouTube is fun.
That one is actually coming in. Oh, and bloopers, Petra. Okay. Tamra and I have a bunch of bloopers. You want us to, should we throw them in the group?
TikTok.
Oh, I'd have to learn about TikTok first, girl. I don't know nothing about no TikTok. I have been resisting
TikTok's easy.
Okay.
TikTok is easy. That one, I'm like, I can do that one. It took me forever to figure out Reels, but TikTok, I can do TikTok.
Okay. So and really, I need to come
And
in.
I can do Reels, but not TikTok.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I find Reels challenging. I don't know why. I'm getting better at them, but I don't do any of the cutesy stuff.
I actually sat and watched my son's girlfriend that's also a realtor. She was sitting on, and I'm just sitting there kind of watching her. And I was like, oh, I can do that.
Like, hey, I can manage that.
Well, we'll do a poll in there, and then that way we can get all of the metrics so that we know what everybody wants.
Yeah, because we want to do like, I figured listings is a no-brainer. I'm like, yeah, okay, everybody wants to take listings. First challenge is going to be a listing challenge. And I knew I had a killer lineup.
Yes.
Good time to be in the business. All right. Well, I guess we're going to finally pull the plug. It's 1:30.
Wow.
Get us up in the group. Ask
Thank
if you
you
have
so
any
much.
questions. Oh, you're so welcome, Donna.
Yes, thanks for hanging in there.
It's been fun. And educate.
Wonderful. Doug, love you, man. You're my favorite. Doug shows up to everything. I love that guy. All right, Doug, you reach out to me too if you need anything at all.
I will. Thank you.
Hey, lovely seeing you. All right, you
Bye-bye.
guys, we'll see you inside the group.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.